to episode 100 of the Bit Beacon broadcast. It's October 14th, 2025. I'm Kodax.
I'm Ravenheart.
That's right. The gang is back together for this week's historic milestone episode.
100.
Anything you want to say about your return?
I'm just, glad to be back for this episode of the Bit Beacon broadcast. It's been a long time. It's been since 43 or 46 or
it's
47.
It's over a year since you were last on the show, I believe. Maybe you submitted some audio here and there a couple times.
Yeah, I might have had something to do with some episode somewhere.
Yeah, but we haven't had you in the studio.
Yep, we're back.
I got so many emails from the fans about how the show just wasn't the same anymore.
All of our fan mail,
Yeah, so I'm really glad to have you back. Thank you for being here.
Shout out to all the fans.
All the Raven stans. Okay, so we're just going to keep this like a normal old school episode. We're going to jump right into what have we been buying, what have we been playing. I've got some collectible trash I wanted to run past you.
Okay.
This first piece is interesting because I was about to shred it the other day.
Oh, don't do that.
I received an unsolicited credit card offer from Comenity Bank, but I was like, what the heck is this? And it's for the GameStop credit card.
Wow.
Yeah, an unsolicited offer to the GameStop Pro credit card.
So that's something they're doing now?
I think they've had a credit card for a while, but usually those credit card offers come in these like colorful, fancy booklet things that open up.
That try to make you think they're checks or there's a card inside.
But this one was just very plain. But it is a offer for the GameStop credit card. Is this something you would keep?
Yes.
If you received it?
That's something I consider a document that would belong in my archive.
Okay, so I guess I wanted to run it past you if I should keep it. So I guess I will indeed
yes.
keep this as part of my collection.
Yes. Depending on how long GameStop is for this world, that could be...
they are resilient.
Yeah.
Somehow, even though they keep closing stores, and there's now 1/3 of the stores that there were in California a year ago.
And they keep getting opportunities and squandering them.
Yeah. Do you want to learn about the benefits of the GameStop Pro credit card?
Briefly.
So you get a free year of GameStop Pro. So that's like the Pro membership. They just call it GameStop Pro now, which I think is now $25 annually. So
that's not...
It's not a great benefit. Most credit cards have like a $200 like welcome offer, like when you spend $1,000 in 6 months or something.
Are you even gonna save $25 with that annually?
Great question. So double your points. Earn up to 4% cash back in rewards with your GameStop Pro credit card. Now, GameStop does a lot of collectibles now, especially Pokemon cards. They're one of the major retailers that sell Pokemon cards now. Mm-hmm. So I could maybe see this being a good card for like a small percentage of GameStop power users.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like it's only good at one store, really. You wouldn't want to use the GameStop Pro credit card anywhere else.
Yeah.
You're not getting a bunch of extra points anywhere else. It's just at GameStop.
Mm-hmm.
But the other benefit is that your Pro points will never expire.
Okay.
As long as you're a credit card holder.
Does it have anything to do with trade-ins or any of that kind of thing, or buying used games?
Only in that it offers you GameStop Pro, which gets you more trading credit.
Got it. Yeah, okay.
Percentage off if you buy used games from them.
Okay.
Interesting
little piece of history here for sure.
Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to run past you was this brochure for Silent Hill F, A Taste of Ebisugago.
Godka.
Okay. So anyways, Silent Hill F recently released, and they're doing an event in Little Tokyo, where I guess there's different shops and there's different like little things you can go participate in, activities. Sometimes it's like buying something from a stop or a store, and it'll get you some kind of physical benefit. But I haven't gone myself, but a friend of mine picked up an extra flyer for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thought, I don't know, this might be something
that is
you'd
absolutely
personally be interested in.
Yeah, this is cool. So this is in LA?
Yeah, it's at Little Tokyo. Have you ever been to Little Tokyo?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not when it was decked out like Silent Hill.
Yeah, it's until through this weekend. So,
Oh,
if you want to go, it's still possible to visit.
Okay. It's already underway?
Yeah, I believe the dates are on the front here. It says it ran from September 25th to October 19th. So I just think that's through Sunday at this point. But yeah, so it's got there's photo ops, cocktail appetizers.
Kind of plays in with Halloween a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Silent Hill smartly released their game, or Konami smartly released the new Silent Hill around this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good fit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. That'd be cool. I think we should try to go. Well, I gotta look.
Yeah, I know you're a big Silent Hill guy.
Yeah,
more than I've ever been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. That's tempting as hell.
And what about you? You got anything new going on game wise? Any pickups you got lately?
I think I have picked up a few games since I was on this podcast last. As of late, I started playing Hades again. Beat Hades.
Nice.
Got out of Hades into Greece is the last area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
you're not actually done quite yet.
Right. So the way it works is you get through the 4 levels of Hades, hell or whatever, the underworld, and then the final, the last boss of that 4th area is Hades himself. You beat him, and then you move on to Greece. And in Greece, it's just like a different cutscene every time. With
Zeus?
No, what's the freaking
Mr. Hades?
Okay, no. The fictional non-mythology main character's name, I can't... Zagreus.
Yeah.
His biological mother.
Okay.
Who is, I think, Persephone.
Okay.
I think it's Persephone. Anyways, yeah. She's out there living a normal, mortal life. And so Zagreus gets out to Greece. And every time he makes it out, it's a different, encounter with your mother.
Did you migrate your Switch 1 to your Switch 2?
Not yet.
So you're still playing
Yeah, I'm still playing on don't ask me why. Stupid. I need to do that before Pokemon Legends ZA.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk more Pokemon in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of Pokemon today. Aside from that, picked up The Last Child again. Lost Child.
Nice.
Lost
on Vita?
Child. Yeah, on Vita. So the Vita version of that game is pretty buggy.
Yeah, I remember you telling me.
And it has save points. So your game will freeze up and you'll lose a bunch of
yeah. There's nothing I have to really like a game, or it can only be 5-10 minutes of progress lost before I'm forget it.
Yeah, right.
I'm done with this game.
Right. Yeah, it can make you give up on the game unless you really love it. Now, that game has been released on Switch since.
It has been. Yeah.
It's also was released on PS4 at the time, too, so I could play on either of those consoles. Yeah. But I have it on Vita.
I gave it to you as a gift.
Yeah.
And we were, heavily into the Vita sphere at the time of that gift.
That's true. And I still enjoy it on Vita, I think, most. I especially like the sort of watered-down textures of the Vita, because it just makes it look that much more retro with some of those really low poly 3D rudimentary environments. Basically, I stopped playing when I got stuck at a certain save, and I was on super low health and had a long way to go and very powerful enemies around, and I was in the Mount Fuji layer. Anyways, so I picked up the game, somehow recovered, and got through the rest of Mount Fuji.
Isn't that crazy? You were playing a game, you got so stuck that you're I'm done with it.
Yeah.
But then years later, you can pick it up
Yeah.
and somehow beat that, no problem.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I even had to pull up Google and remember how to do some of those stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Because that game's complicated. Like the battle system. The battle system in that game, I believe, was done by a separate studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like they were like contracted to
Okay.
do. Because you can tell the battle system is a totally different like art style, and it's 2D and it's like puppet animation 2D and stuff, whereas the rest of the game is like low poly 3D. Kind of looks almost like N64-ish.
Okay. It's like a dungeon crawler, right?
Yeah,
You're kind of like moving tile at a time.
Yes, yeah. So it is kind of very grid-based navigation, dungeon crawler, first person, with random battle system.
Okay.
Yeah, and then classic traditional JRPG mechanics within the battle system.
Nice.
Yep. But the capturing of demons. So you have like demons and fallen angels and angels. And
Okay.
those are like the three categories. And
Would you say it's kind of like a Shin Megami Tensei game?
Yeah. Yeah, well, Shin Megami Tensei is the closest thing you can relate it to.
Okay.
But it's still different enough to
Sure.
be its own thing. But it is it's related to El Shaddai.
Right.
It's part of that franchise. And
That's also been recently ported to Nintendo Switch.
oh, really?
El Shaddai, yeah.
I didn't know.
Limited
Oh,
run.
I did know that.
Did a physical release.
I got the vinyl.
Yeah,
we
you got
both have the vinyl.
Yeah, we got the vinyl signed by the creator.
Not the vinyl, but we had a Shikishi board.
Yeah,
which is cool. I love that.
The creator of the game, I follow him on Twitter, and he was recently talking about how he's planning to bring it to PS5 as well.
Oh,
El
nice,
Shaddai.
nice. I mean, you can't port that game enough. It's
Yeah.
so good, and if you're into third-person like 3D platformers, it's like the ultimate. Like there isn't like
Some people say Mario is the ultimate 3D platformer.
Sure, but how many of those? I mean, there's like New Super Mario World 3D, and that's it. Everything else is like either two. Well, that's not true. Odyssey and
Odyssey 64,
Yeah.
Sunshine.
yeah. Well,
It's okay.
You get what I'm saying, though. I mean, like Big Boy,
Yeah.
Big Boy 3D platform.
If we
it's
needed
tough.
a title this week, that would have been it.
It's tough. Like it is a hard game.
Yeah. It's not super accessible, you'd say.
And the sort of like rival villain character who was Enoch, who's the main character, who it becomes a collectible demon in The Lost Child. But Enoch is the main character in El Shaddai. His like rival / villain character is Lucifer. And in the very, like, after the first area of El Shaddai, Lucifer just like fourth wall breaking, just on screen, just challenges the player, like, you can finish this game in 7 hours if you're good. Like, straight up says that verbatim.
I wonder if there's like a speedrun achievement or trophy in the
I
game.
think there is.
Yeah.
There is, yeah. I don't have it.
That's cool. He just breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah, just tells you, like, beat this game in 4 hours, try it.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so that's what I've been playing. Not a whole lot of gaming, a lot more worrying about, like, real life stuff.
I know you haven't talked about it, but you've recently been going really hard in one game, Pokemon Go.
Yeah. So, yeah, I should talk about that.
You have the best Pokemon Go rants.
So tomorrow on October 5th, something big
13th.
It happened on the 13th?
No, it's tomorrow, the 15th.
Sorry, 15th. What did I say? 5th?
5th, yeah.
Sorry. Tomorrow, October 15th. Today is the 14th. Something big is happening in Pokemon Go. Everybody's levels are being converted to a new leveling system. So everybody's experience points, what level they are, the leveling rewards, everything having to do with leveling in Pokemon Go is about to change drastically.
They're increasing the level cap and rescaling how you level up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, like, I believe down to the experience point.
I think your experience points will remain the same.
Okay.
But, like,
just your
the
level.
The thresholds for each level. So they're basically going to have to normalize everyone's current existing levels to this new scale.
Right. So I see what you're saying.
So we're all going to jump in level, basically,
Yeah.
is what's going to happen.
Yeah. So however many experience points total you have in the game will remain the same, but it will be applied across this new leveling scale.
Yep.
Which means that several rewards that were given in this, legacy
Prior scheme
system are now going to be legacy.
Well, so it doesn't need to be legacy. They have chosen to make it legacy.
Right. Yes, yeah. I'm just saying how it is.
Yeah, that's...
Unfortunately, this was a choice that Pokemon Go owners...
Scopely, Niantic, whoever...
Yeah. Are Niantic people still working on the game?
I guess, yes. Like, the team was purchased by Scopely, and I guess they're keeping the Niantic name, and then there's a spin-off of Niantic that the original Niantic founder still owns called... it's called Niantic, but it has like a subtitle to it. I can't think of what it's called.
It's a subsidiary of Niantic.
But it's like he totally controls and owns it. The Scopely doesn't have anything to do with this other Niantic.
Okay.
It's Niantic Spatial.
Oh, got it. Okay, all right.
Because they're going into spatial development.
So Scopely owns Niantic, the big company?
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right. So Niantic, that's still correct to say, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia owns Scopely, and Scopely owns Pokemon Go.
Yeah, crazy. So they're choosing to do this and make these, namely these costume pieces. Among all the everything else is kind of renewable, except that.
Yeah.
These costume pieces, the level 50 jacket and the level 49 boots, are the ones that I'm not gonna have. So I have been trying to make it to level 50.
You jumped like 2 levels in a very short period of time, right?
Yeah, right. Which might not sound that great if you don't play Pokemon Go, but one level is like 25 million. The level I'm on requires 25 million experience points.
So what level did you reach? 48?
Yeah. I'm at 48.
So you were 46 when they made this announcement like a month ago.
No, I was barely into level 47.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you were playing hard.
Yep. Yeah, I was. I kind of exaggerated how much money I've spent. I did I'm very picky about when I use a lucky egg and that kind of thing. I like to save my best friend moments and stuff.
Yeah.
Save them up for a lucky egg so I can compound
you
that.
5 best friends all at once. I'm not opening your gift till these other 3 people are there.
And it seems like everybody's doing that too. But yeah, so I was going hard on especially excellent throws. And to be honest, excellent throws are the best way to get experience points.
Yeah.
If you're consistent with that. Outside of Community Day with a lucky egg going, your excellent throws are worth 4,000 each. Inside Community Day, 8,000 each.
Right.
And some change. That's a lot. That's 11.
Especially if you're fast catching.
Yeah.
Which, have you noticed, they changed the Pokeball and berry menu. So it's a little slower to do the fast catching technique now.
Yeah. I don't do the fast catching just because I like to filter my Pokemon as I catch them. Otherwise, my whole box gets filled up. And I don't like to have to go back and do a whole maintenance round.
Yeah, I am that guy. I make sure before I doing a big play session that I have 600-700 slots open. And then, before the next major event, I'm scrambling to oh god, I gotta get rid of all this junk.
Yep.
That's clogging up.
That's just a headache, and that becomes work. And Pokemon Go already feels like work.
Yeah.
I don't need that. That'll make me give it up. But I have, a whole labeling system and everything in the game. So every time I catch a Pokemon, I evaluate the stats and then tag it as perfect -1, perfect -2. Training is the tag.
I've been inspired by some of the recent things you were telling me when we were at the Pokemon World Championships about your Pokemon going, and I've been trying to do a little more tagging. And
you have to get organized, dude. You have to get organized, or you're just gonna drown in I think my box is up to over 10,000 Pokemon right now.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, but thank God I have all these tags so I can find stuff and look at it. But yeah, anyways, Pokemon Go has been nuts. I gave up on trying to make it to level 50 because...
Was there a reward for 48 that you got that you wouldn't have gotten?
So on levels that you don't get like a costume piece, you do get a special research.
Oh, okay.
So I do have the level 48 challenge.
Do we know if those are going away?
I would assume so.
Okay.
I would assume so.
Yeah, but you'll probably have it since you...
Yeah, so that would be the last... I would have the last one of those,
yeah.
I guess, as a positive. Right now, the task I'm on with that is like 500 nice throws or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So I think I'm like 50 away from having that done. And the reward for that task is 10,000 Stardust, which...
I know. I love when they have these like insurmountable tasks, and the reward is just pitiful.
Yeah.
It's like, why is this not 100,000 experience?
Yeah, right,
like,
right.
Even that's not even really that much XP, but at least it feels meaningful compared to the usual.
Yeah.
Here's 1,000 XP for completing.
That feels like a big reward compared to what they normally give.
Yeah.
Like some of these they do these like stupid little games where, like your big event research will end with like, 546 experience points because that's the number of Pokemon that existed up to this generation, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see that kind of crap a lot. It's like, come on, like, give me 80,000 experience. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I did all that and paid that much money. Yeah, whatever.
Speaking of money, they recently announced that Pokemon Go Tour is coming back to Los Angeles for the third year in a row.
Yep.
This particular Go Tour, kind of presumptuously, is going to be based around, passed on the previous year's trends. It'll be based around Kalos as a region, which is kind of perfect timing with Pokemon Legends ZA coming out, which is set entirely within Lumio City, which is located in Kalos. I've always called it Kalos, but maybe they're Kalos, but maybe it's Kalos.
I don't know.
Nothing's wrong.
I gave up on that.
Yeah. Unless you watch the anime, you have no idea how to pronounce any of this stuff, because they don't put
the
voice
anime's
acting.
not canon.
No. The anime is canon for pronunciations. For pronunciations.
I'm making fun of you,
I know
dude.
you are.
But here's the thing. Never mind. I was gonna riff on Pokemon Stadium, referring to Tangela as Pine Show, dude.
I mean, that's a bug. That's a glitch.
Yeah, I think that's just something's wrong there.
But something exciting about that, at least for me, and they said it's going to be the little teaser they've said is going to be a Mega Evolution kind of filled event. So, which I know you're a big fan of Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
I would argue if Pokemon Go's done any one thing correctly, it's Mega Evolution.
Yeah, but
it's
they
really,
not initially. That was bad.
We've
it
covered
was so
this,
bad.
so let's not harp on it too much.
But
it's in a really good place now, you'd say.
Yes, and that same cycle is happening, I feel, with Max battles. I feel like Gigantamax and Dynamax are like, no longer does it feel like complete pay to play with the Max mushrooms and stuff. Now that
I still feel like it's artificially limited for no good reason.
Yeah, the amount of artificial limits in Pokemon Go constitutes like the worst game design that's ever existed.
Yeah.
But it's okay because it's free to play, quote unquote.
Right.
Which is just ridiculous from a game design perspective.
When they did the big Max Battle finale thing with Eternatus as a Pokemon, and they kind of tied that whole event very heavily into this $15 paid pass. Like, if you didn't get that $15 paid pass, you were at such a gargantuan disadvantage over anyone who did. So basically, a lot of players felt kind of forced into doing it if they wanted to really do anything with their Eternatus ever.
Right.
And I went and saw some of the comments online about people talking about the fallout from that kind of decision to tie it to basically be, hey, this Pokemon is our first pay-to-win Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this on the podcast before, but I did want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
some of the comments were like, "You must be poor, like if you can't afford a $15 thing," you know, like just like I don't know, it's just crazy to see how mean and how like defendy people were like, "This is justified."
That to me reads like people having to like reinforce and justify their own like addiction.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I bought it. I'm a sound, reasonable person.
I bought it, but that's because I buy all the tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There ain't no ticket I don't buy. Except some of these raid day tickets. Because it doesn't give research. It just gives extra passes and stuff. And if it's a Pokemon or I have Shiny or whatever, I don't need it.
I stopped buying most of the tickets because I feel like there's a new ticket every weekend.
Yeah.
And I couldn't keep
There
up.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the one game that I do that with. I don't do that with anything else. I won't let myself do it with anything else.
I find it a little ironic because you've come down on me in the past for playing things like Genshin Impact, and I spend $5 a month on that game.
It's so okay. Here's the difference. I mean, and yeah, I can't riff on you too hard because Genshin Impact is fun. It's a great game. It really is a good game. I wish it wasn't a gacha online only game.
Right.
You know, if it wasn't that, I'd be playing.
I mean, it's online only in the sense that it requires a persistent connection, not that you're like playing with other people. But it does still require
I didn't say multiplayer though.
It does require that constant server connection.
Yeah, and once it's gone, it's gone. There's that too.
We'll see. We don't know. Hoyoverse has never sunset one of their games before. So we don't know how they might go about doing that. There have been recent examples of games, finding a way to make their game offline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have talked about this in past episodes.
But if we look at most of these styles of games, they go offline forever. So your fears are not unwarranted.
Right. And we see a pattern of studios and developers having this mindset that, well, we're not thinking about the past,
right?
We're thinking about the future.
Yeah.
So
forget that stuff.
Yeah, that's an old game.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. You experienced that when you went to the event with
I talked to
that game company.
Yeah, I spoke up at their panel.
Yeah. That's
and
right.
They were basically like,
we never thought about preservation.
This is going to be around forever.
Yeah.
That's what they always say.
Right.
Genshin Impact, the devs recently said, we have a 20-year plan for this game.
Yeah.
And that's like, well, that's great that you plan on keeping it around.
What about after that?
Yeah.
But my other point about comparing Pokemon Go to Genshin Impact is just that Pokemon Go, I am investing in the game Pokemon Go, but I'm also massively investing in Pokemon Home with it.
Right.
And
the point where I would then counter you a little bit is you buy all these researches,
mm-hmm.
and you don't buy that for Pokemon Home.
Yeah,
you buy that to have your little checklist.
Yeah. Yes, and you're not wrong.
And that's purely a thing that's going to evaporate one day.
Sure, 1000%. That research does also give encounters and stuff like that. I'm not saying you're wrong. Not even countering your counterpoint, but yeah, I mean that. I invest in it because I guess I feel like if I invest in the game in general, the game's going to give back, and it's going to give back in the form of,
That's like the slot machine mentality.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, this guy, let's put him into the A group.
Dude, they're like...
I'm sure.
Catering and...
They do A/B testing, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, these kind of games are so psychologically... designed, like, just they don't even it's an illusion. Everything's an illusion. The chance factor is more of an illusion than anyone thinks. Like, I guarantee it, they're putting code in there that like predetermines stuff. I guarantee it's a mobile game. It's a gotcha game, dude.
Yeah.
Not with gotcha mechanics, but you get the point. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so before we move on to our news stories, I'm going to quickly not talk about what I've been playing, because I think we've done enough of that, but I did have a couple purchases come in this past couple weeks, and there's kind of a theme to it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of guess what that might be?
Well, we got Final Fantasy Tactics. What? The Ivalice Chronicles. Is that a compilation?
This is You know how they made War of the Lions
Yeah.
on PSP?
Yeah.
This is
a remake of that.
sort of another remake.
Okay.
A remastered port
Of the same.
of the original game. Yeah.
And Pac-Man Repack.
Pac-Man World.
Pac-Man World Repack. So we're looking at 2 remakes.
2 remasters. Yeah, I think it's sort of a combination of that. So yeah, I'll talk about Pac-Man World Repack. This is a game that I believe you're a fan of.
Yeah,
Pac-Man the original.
World,
yeah. This recently, just very recently, Pac-Man World Repack 2 just came out.
Okay.
So yeah, they're committed to bringing these legacy titles, making them available again, which is pretty cool.
Still waiting on my Croc.
It's happening very soon.
All right,
it's happening. I know they said they were going to ship by in the summer, and they recently put an update out, basically saying that instead of shipping out an incomplete disc or cartridge without patches and things, they wanted to have it as complete as possible on disc so that the game is fully playable without any major bugs, glitches, that kind of a thing.
Yeah. I'm not riffing on them. I'm just worried that they won't have my new address. A lot can happen.
You should probably email
I will.
them.
I will.
Yeah, because they're not going to ship by then, I don't think.
Yeah. It's this weekend, so.
Okay, then yeah, you need to work on that real soon. But this version of Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evilis or Ivalice? Evilis with an I.
Evilis, yeah.
Evilis. Okay.
It's the same universe that 12 takes place in.
Yes. So I've been long curious about Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, yeah.
The original. I've played Tactics Advance on Game Boy Advance.
But have you played Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift?
No, I haven't played that one. I've only ever played the original Advance.
I put 400 plus hours.
Wow.
It's a DS game, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm going to open this one here on the air because I got the Amazon exclusive edition.
Some ASMR. Is it different in some way?
Not externally. Supposedly there is a folded poster inside the Amazon edition.
Okay.
So let's see if that's true.
Let's see.
Oh,
there it is.
There it is. So we got the cartridge. Full game on cart, of course, because it's Nintendo Switch 1.
Yep.
Not Nintendo Switch 2.
Yep.
With their Game Key cards.
None of that.
Nope. And there is a free Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade pack available on the eShop, enhancing the Nintendo Switch 1 game to be take advantage of the Nintendo Switch 2 hardware.
Very good.
That's not common to get a free one so far. For the most part, they've been $10 paid upgrades for most games.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. It's precedent Nintendo setting.
Yeah.
And of course, the interior artwork here, there is none. Instead, we just get the legal jargon on the back of it here.
I wonder if your game key card has anything like
this
art
is something
inside.
that Square Enix usually does.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do an internal artwork, and there'll be a little paper slip with all this information printed on it.
Yeah.
But
with I don't know. With Final Fantasy 15, I think 16 too, it was artwork on the inside.
Yeah, main numbered Final Fantasy for whatever reason always gets this better treatment. I don't know why. The fact that Tactics is happening at all in 2025 is pretty great. So I'm not going to complain too much.
A lot of people for a long time have been begging for anything with Tactics.
Yeah.
And we got that mobile game that wasn't even developed by them. It felt weird. If
sales are well of this, maybe it makes them go, okay, maybe there's still hunger out there for a new Tactics title.
You're right.
Yeah. So who knows? Games take so long to develop now. It could be 5 years before we see the fruits of the sales of this manifest into anything. Or they might just remake Advance.
Yeah.
Or A2.
Yeah. We'll see.
Let's take a look at this poster real quick. I believe it's double-sided. It's a pretty small poster. But that's fine. I prefer it small.
Okay, it's just the jobs for all the different races.
So yeah, there's a job tree here on the back. There's some mystery jobs, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's so fewer jobs in this game than what I'm used to.
And then on the front here, It's got kind of the logo artwork,
Mm-hmm.
not the cover artwork, the logo artwork, because many Final Fantasy games have unique logo artwork
Yeah.
along with the text, and all the classic tactics artwork of all the classes surrounding. So yeah, a nice little poster. You know what? I with Square Enix games, a lot of times if I'm not gonna play it on day one, I'll just wait a little bit because they tend to go on sale. 20% off, even 2-3 months later.
Yeah.
But having that little bonus inside, that does go a long way.
Yeah.
So nice of them to do something like that, even if it was exclusively through Amazon.
It is a nice poster. I don't know how I feel about double-sided posters, just because it's...
I mean, I don't know. I mean, then you almost need two, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Maybe that's why they do it.
Yeah, I need to buy 2 Amazon exclusive games.
I wonder if the what do they call the
UPC?
The UPC number is actually any different from the regular one or not?
That's a good question.
It must be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look the next time I'm at
Is
Target.
does that constitute a variant in your mind?
A different UPC on the cover?
Yeah.
I'm inclined to say yes.
Yeah.
Almost like begrudgingly.
I know. Same.
Yeah. Like, I don't like that because there are some games that have like 7 different for no good reason.
Yeah, and I think every time they because big games, like, they continue to push out new builds, like new versions, and for retail refillment and stuff, and sometimes they have they give it a new UPC because it's a different build.
Yeah.
So.
Or like the text minorly changed on the back. So I mean, well, that in and of itself almost constitutes a variant.
Yeah.
I mean, so while I consider it a variant, yes, I don't actively consider it a variant.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I need unique artwork.
Yeah.
To really be like, okay, I really want that one in my collection too.
Right.
So yeah, they got to change it up, or it's got to be like a significant new addition.
For me, I do, okay, you know how I am. Yeah. I do collect all this kind of weird stuff. But how I would like to be is the game file needs to be different. If there's something different in the data,
it's a different build. Yeah, more updated, less updated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyways, nice haul.
Thank you.
I love both of those franchises, as you know. So. Any
memories of I've never played the Pac-Man World game.
Yeah, it's a 3D top-down maze type. It's Pac-Man, but
right, but almost like a platformer too, right? Like, it's more of an adventure rather than it's not Pac-Man as in an arcade Pac-Man.
I played it on PS1, dude. Okay, it's been a while.
Okay. My understanding is that this is Pac-Man's Mario 3D moment.
Pac-Man has his own universe.
Right.
He has a wife. He has a neighbor named Lucy. There's Pac Baby, Pac Jr. There's a whole bunch of the ghosts have this witch boss. There's a whole universe there that Namco does nothing with ever. Yeah. He could be He could be on Mario's level if Namco took it there.
I remember seeing this game on PS1.
Yeah.
At Best Buy, and I asked my mom, "Can we buy this one?" And she's like, "No, you already have Pac-Man at home."
Yeah.
Because we had this Namco arcade collection game.
Mm-hmm.
That had Pac-Man the arcade game on it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is different. I remember, didn't it have him holding onto a hang glider or something on the cover?
So you're probably thinking of Pac-Man 2: The New Adventures on Genesis.
No, this was a PS1 game that I'm thinking of.
Okay, because that was the cover.
Because I had moved beyond Sega Genesis at this point. Yeah. We were a PlayStation focused family at that point.
Spoiled brat.
I had a brother. We were both in the games. We shared a single console.
I can tell you for sure because I have it and the box that
one
has him with hang glider.
Then maybe I am mixing up my covers, but yeah, I remember asking for this.
I remember that game having that cover.
Oh, okay. So they just remade the OG cover, basically.
Or at least different background, but Pac-Man was doing that.
Okay.
And I think you are right now that I think about it. There is more third-person gameplay, but I can tell you for a fact there's maze gameplay in there.
Sure, yeah, I see a screenshot of it back here that does look like there is like a maze going on. So yeah, I'm sure they want to incorporate some Pac-Man-ness into this Pac-Man game.
Absolutely.
Okay, I attended some events, but I think we're just gonna move on from that and go to T-shirts.
Okay.
So, do you want to describe my T-shirt, or you describe your own T-shirt, or how do you want to do this?
We'll do it traditionally.
Okay, so
I'll go first. I'll describe yours. So you are wearing a light purpley pink periwinkle shirt, with the card art for the original Slowpoke card from base set.
No, it wasn't base set.
Jungle.
I think
Fossil. I think you're right.
I think Fossil.
I think it's Fossil. And it has, numbers 79 and 70 HP up at the top with the Psychic Energy logo there. And then Tail Whip as the move, 30 damage. 1 Psychic, 1 Colorless Energy. Not the card, like outline or anything like that. It doesn't have the border
of the card.
It's literally just the art, square, like rectangle, and then the text in white, which is nice. And you have the same Uniqlo branded Pokemon card back, little logos on the bottom left side of the shirt.
Yeah, so this shirt, and we're about to find out something about Rick's, what he's wearing. It's part of a Uniqlo collection that's, I think it's actually over already. You might still be able to find some of the stock online, discounted.
Yeah,
of
or
course.
Scalped.
Yeah. I mean, on Uniqlo's website, they might still have some sizes available.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what they do. They do a lot of collabs. Uniqlo has like a new T-shirt collab.
They do like one shipment and then it sells out when it sells out.
So Rick is also wearing a piece from this very same collection. His is a black crew neck. You'd say this is a long sleeve or a sweatshirt?
It's a sweatshirt.
Let me feel the material. Oh yeah, it is definitely thicker. And this one features kind of 3D CG artwork of Unknown, the Pokemon Unknown, spelling out Pokemon. And it also has the same 3 card backs printed on the lower, I guess that's the left side of the shirt. Kind of on the front, but to the side a little bit, like where your pocket might be.
All right, let me stand up.
Stand up. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah. There's something real big on the back. So the theme here with this collection is it's all about the trading card game. And so on the back, it has... do you know what set this Unknown artwork is from?
I don't.
No. It's definitely card art. I don't know if it's from the digital card game app or if it's actually part of a legitimate real card that was printed physically. But yeah, it features the same kind of CG 3D Unknown, but almost like they're doing this like 3D swooshing, popping out of the shirt kind of effect. And it says number 021, which is Unknown's Pokemon number in the Pokedex. It says Tri-Power 70X, meaning this must be some kind of card that has some multiplier of some kind. And it's a V-Star card, so it must be a fairly recent card from the last decade.
Yeah.
And it has a 3 colorless energy move called Star Cipher. And at the very bottom, it has the weaknesses: double weak to dark type, a resistance -30 to fighting type, and a retreat cost of 1 energy. Any colorless, could be any energy.
Can you tell what letters they are?
There's an R, an A, an S, a T. Is that a V?
Yep.
What does that spell?
V-Star.
Oh, it spells V-Star.
Yeah.
Duh. I was reading it backwards, though.
They have it kind of jumbled a little bit. But it took me like a couple days to figure that out.
Okay.
Actually. But yeah, which makes me think it's a part of the physical set. I don't know how much V-Star is.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah. I think it must be based on a physical card originally.
So yeah, T-shirts, just like old times.
All right, we're going to jump into the news. And I wanted to talk to you, kind of have a larger discussion about what the heck is going on with Xbox. But let's start with the news. A couple weeks ago, Microsoft announced that Xbox Game Pass's price was going up. Again, this is like the third increase in like the last 2 years.
Question, were we both covering the last time it went up?
No.
Okay.
I think it went up late 2024.
Okay.
And so I talked about it then.
Because I do remember a story we did together.
Yeah, in 2023 it went up.
Okay.
2024 it went up. And now in 2025. So let's look at this. So Xbox Game Pass is their subscription service. We've talked about it before. Basically, the idea is that you don't buy games anymore. If you're subscribed to Game Pass, you'll just have access to all first-party Xbox launch titles available on day one at no extra cost to your thing. So like a $60, $70 game, you have access to it for $15 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that $15 a month charge is now $30 a month.
Yeah. It went up to $19.99 at one point, right?
Yeah, so in 2019, Xbox Game Pass cost $15.
Yeah.
In 2023, it went up $16.99, a $2 increase. 2024, it increased $3 to $19.99. And then this year, it jumped a whopping 50%. 50% increase. We went from 13%, 18% to a 50% increase. It's now $29.99. So
that's ridiculous.
We're now at the point where why would you even subscribe to Game Pass? You'll probably spend less money buying the games that you want to play outright.
Yeah.
If you're just like not super hardcore gamer, but like just casual enough, and even if you're a hardcore gamer, you might just be breaking even. And at that point, it would just be better to own the games and not lose access to them the moment your subscription ends.
Exactly. And if you're buying more than 3, 4, 5 titles a year, you're probably a collector, in which case you wouldn't want them digitally, right?
I mean, I don't know how many true Xbox collectors there really are out there anymore. They
exist, though, I'm sure.
They exist. They do exist. But, like, so much of the Xbox audience has been basically forced into a digital ecosystem. Just
plugged into the Matrix.
Yeah, almost where, like, it feels like you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Because even when Xbox releases games physically, it's just a disc with a seed on it a lot of times.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is just prompting a giant download when you insert that disc. Mm-hmm. So it's almost as if, is that even a physical game?
I see what you're saying, yeah. I mean, I still do,
it's basically a game key card disc.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's basically what the game key card does. You get the
cover art, you get,
It's literally just a link. I'm sure there are some assets on the disc.
Sometimes there are. Like, you get that a lot with PlayStation games. You know, like, most games that launch physically traditionally have had the game on the disc, and then there's like a day one patch that'll fix up some bugs.
Yeah.
Because, they have to send these games to the printers in order to make the launch date, months in advance.
What it is a byproduct of something that started years ago where publishers just, saw that, hey, we can launch patches. So now there's no excuse for a dev team to not meet their deadline. So we'll just have the game half finished and just patch the rest.
Yeah.
And now they've gotten to the point where that's just the norm, and they're just abusing it to that point.
Yeah. Xbox has been publishing their games on PlayStation and Nintendo recently, and even on PlayStation, the full game isn't on the disc. Mm-hmm. Even though the Blu-ray disc, because PlayStation 5 uses ultra high definition Blu-ray disc, which can store double the capacity of the Blu-ray disc that Xbox uses for the series consoles, and they could easily fit the whole game.
Yeah.
But they are shipping these games incomplete.
They're using media that can just like hold the whole game plus some extra space.
Doesn't cost anything extra. Yeah. Maybe an extra cent a disc.
Yeah.
And they're just choosing not to. It's almost out of spite.
Yeah.
It's just really weird.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
So with these new Game Pass prices, what exactly do you get? So there's 3 Game Pass tiers. Of course, the most used one, the most widely advertised one, is Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So this one, at any given time, will have 400 plus different games for you to play as part of your subscription service, including everything on every day one first party Xbox game, including Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
So they say there's 75 plus day one games a year. That's including third parties as well, indies, and includes all Xbox published games. It now includes 2 new features: Ubisoft Plus Classics and EA Play. No, Ubisoft Plus Classics is new, and Fortnite Crew is new.
Mm-hmm.
So these perks, Ubisoft Plus Classics is basically older Ubisoft games. You'll just have access to them at no cost.
Yeah.
And then Fortnite Crew is basically like Fortnite's subscription service, where you don't have to buy your battle passes anymore. They just become part of your subscription service. But like, let's say you don't really care about Ubisoft games.
Yeah.
Let's say you don't care about Fortnite.
Yeah.
So now you're paying $10 more a month for a service you don't use.
Didn't you say Call of Duty was?
Yes. So
Yeah.
Call of Duty, you know.
Oh yeah, Ubisoft, right? Or
No. Call of Duty's Activision,
Yes, right.
and Microsoft purchased Activision, and it's just been a disaster ever since they purchased Activision.
Yeah.
They've been laying off hundreds of developers constantly. Like twice this year, they've done layoffs.
That's not new.
No.
That's been going on for 3 years.
And so now Xbox, they have 2 other tiers. They have Xbox Game Pass Premium. So this offers 200 games across PC, console, and cloud. And they promise that first-party games will be available within a year of launch. So you no longer get day one games on Premium. That's just a further push to push people to Ultimate. So now if you want COD every year as part of your Game Pass plan, you gotta spend $360.
Yeah.
Like if all you do is play COD and Madden, why don't do Game Pass anymore? It doesn't make any.
The only one of these passes that's of any value, and I'm looking at like the graphic, is the Ultimate. Like you would never buy Essential or Premium.
Essential, I guess, has its use as in that it allows you to play games online.
Yeah, okay.
Because if you're an online gamer and you're playing on console, sadly, Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox or Microsoft all charge to play games online.
Yeah, unbelievable. But yeah, okay. In the context of you're just buying games retail and then you want to play them online.
Yeah. Then you basically have to if you're a big multiplayer gamer on Xbox. You got to pay for at least Essential.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's $10 a month. So what they try to do here with this is like make you see the value and paying for Ultimate.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if I'm already paying $10 a month just to play online,
I could pay $5 more.
No, $20 more.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about premium.
Oh, okay.
But then I don't get access to, day one. That's not the only thing.
Yeah, no, that's
the only thing separating premium from ultimate is day one access.
Pretty much. You get less overall games that you have access to, and you no longer have Xbox first party games on day one. They're basically forcing you to spend $360 a year. I think that's a nice touch. Xbox 360, $360 a year.
Yeah,
it's like really throwing it back to the good old days of Xbox. Yeah. When Xbox was king.
It's a throwback, guys. It's a nod to the old time.
So when this news was announced, users started canceling their subscriptions in droves. The cancellation website to log in, it was hammered. People couldn't sign in. The page was just hanging. They couldn't actually cancel it. Yeah. Of course, it calmed down since then, but basically, they gave almost no notice.
It's. I have a lot of thoughts, like, I look at Apple, and I'm sorry if you're an Apple user listening to this, but it's like Apple has gotten so big in their own space that it's like they forgot what money is to people.
Yeah.
Like charging for their VR headset like $4,000.
Yeah, it was an absurd
like
cost.
they don't. It's like they're so out of touch that they don't know what that is to somebody.
Yeah.
And that's what this feels like with Microsoft and Xbox.
I think we're at the point where Xbox, and this is a larger discussion I want to get to, where Xbox is, if they've reached as many users as they're going to reach.
Mm-hmm.
So now they need to retain and milk the users that they have.
Yeah.
Because it's just not expanding.
They need to tug harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as R-rated as we're going to get here on the Bit Beacon. They can't find any more players.
Yeah.
Recently Costco, they didn't formally announce it, but all Xbox products have disappeared from their stores.
It's
both
crazy.
Online
it's so weird.
And in store.
Yeah. There's video on the internet of like Costco clerks like pulling it. Yeah.
Wow. Like they don't even try. They don't mark it down or try to sell it or anything.
No.
They're just like, nah.
Which is, I don't know. It's almost like Costco corporate is like fundamentally disagrees with Microsoft moves.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're not selling their products. Take them off.
Yeah. The Xbox console, and I talked about this a couple months ago when they raised the prices of the console, or a couple weeks ago. It's now like 25% more expensive to buy an Xbox Series console than it was when the console launched in 2020.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily Microsoft's explicit fault, but that's the reality of the situation we're all in right now.
Yeah.
And, this is a thing where, like, they were having a hard time attracting users at $500 at the Xbox Series console.
Yeah.
How do they think they're going to find people at $650?
Right. And I mentioned this before we started, but I, in all of console history, have never ever heard of a single console going up in price mid-life cycle. I've seen them go down in price mid-life cycle, but never
It's normally what's happened.
This is unprecedented.
It's not just Xbox, it is PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
Their consoles have increased in price, not quite to the extent that Microsoft's have.
Yeah.
Nintendo has mostly avoided this so far
Mm-hmm.
because the Nintendo Switch 2, at least for the American audience, is manufactured in Vietnam, so the tariffs aren't nearly as steep. So they've just been kind of eating that cost from the original announced price. They've kept it that way so far.
Yeah.
But it's very possible we could see even Nintendo climb that price a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
But that's besides the point. I personally think that Microsoft should be eating at the position they're in right now in the console industry. I don't think they can afford to sell it at $650.
No. And they're not going to gain any new gamers like at a higher price. Like, oh, it didn't sell, or it only sold X number at 500. Let's see how many we can sell at 650.
Yeah, well, who in their right mind is like, oh yeah, now's the time to buy an
Yeah,
Xbox.
right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now that it's more expensive, I think I'm gonna jump in.
Good thing I waited.
So Xbox does have some new hardware coming out, and I say that with a little asterisk.
Yeah.
They have the new $1,000 handheld that's just that's a reskinned Asus ROG Ally. It doesn't play console games, so it's not actually an Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
It's a PC that'll play PC games. Now, certain Xbox games, more recently, they've been doing a good job at when you buy... I will give them kudos for this. Mm-hmm. If you buy the game on console, then you also have the PC version as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think there's a reason why they're doing that. I think they're prepping Xbox console users for what comes next for Xbox.
They would only be doing something like that.
Yeah, they're not doing it.
They're not doing
charity.
it. Yeah, exactly.
So I think the reality is that a traditional video game console from Microsoft is done. The Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X are it. Mm-hmm. If Microsoft produces new hardware on their own, these will just be PCs.
Yeah.
With an Xbox brand on them.
Which is crazy because that device exists already. It's called a Steam Deck, I
mean, that's a handheld.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, they're...
Oh, I was talking about their handheld.
Right.
They're $1,000.
Oh, yeah. No, that's basically already what... I mean, Steam Deck is, stuck on the Steam ecosystem unless you do significant modding. This is going to be a very powerful device at $1,000. So absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
It's going to be it's going to be able to do things that Steam Deck can't imagine doing. But $1,000 for a handheld. Mm-hmm. Nintendo Switch 2 just launched
Mm-hmm.
at 400.
Yeah.
400.
Yeah, it was 3 something.
399. Yeah. So the fact that Microsoft, I mean, who's gonna buy this? We're talking like thousands of people buying this game, this console, this Xbox handheld. Yeah. Thousands. That's not enough.
Yeah, no.
That's not enough to like sustain anything.
Yeah, you have to have $1,000 lying around for a new handheld. Like, we don't have enough.
And what does it do? It doesn't do anything that existing handhelds
It plays
don't.
PC games.
Right. But like, you want to boot your copy of Lost Odyssey? Not possible, because that's not a PC game. That's
Why wouldn't I
Xbox
take my
consoles.
$1,000 and buy a brand new laptop?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's ridiculous. This handheld was originally rumored to launch at like around $800.
Yeah.
And so when they finally came public with $1,000, it was just like, dear.
Yeah.
Like, who? I know there's still super hardcore dedicated Xbox people out there, but I don't know what kind of Kool-Aid you got to be drinking at this point to be like, yeah, this is the place. This is where I want to invest my game purchases into.
I would want to have one eventually, but I would not by buying at retail. And it would literally just be for preservatory purposes.
Right. But I mean, yeah, it's literally just an existing handheld. They've changed a couple components around. They've given you the Xbox controller feeling in hand. Mm-hmm. They've put the shiny green branding on it. And this is now an Xbox.
Yeah.
Last year, they started this marketing campaign called This is an Xbox. And they were just saying, like, your phone is an Xbox. Because your phone can do cloud gaming. So your phone's an Xbox now. And they started doing it for all kinds of devices. And they were like, this is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. And so they're really... This is the first thing that's like, hey, this thing that's not really an Xbox is an Xbox, even though we're telling you it is an Xbox.
Yeah. No, that's the opposite of what we want, guys.
But people are convinced that, like, there are people in the public who think this is actually an Xbox.
It's a cult. It's a cult, dude.
Like, they're going to be in for a shock when their digital purchases from the Xbox store on their console do not, like, their games don't show up on there.
Yeah. Right.
So we know Sony is working on, they haven't publicly announced it, but there's been enough hubbub around it. Sony's producing a new portable console that's going to either complement the PlayStation 6 as sort of a portable PlayStation 6 alongside the home console itself. It'll be 2 distinct products you can buy.
These rumors have been around a while, right?
Yeah, but they're really manifesting.
Yeah.
And like there's some like Sony recently introduced a firmware update to the PS5 that allows games to run in like a low power mode.
Yeah.
Which is prepping these games to support the handheld, which is going to have to run in a lower power mode.
Right.
So they're doing that so they can start testing these things. Anyways, where am I going with this? Well,
I think that both Sony and Xbox are seeing Nintendo's success with the Switch. That's what this is, dude.
Yeah, but here's the thing with where I was going with this. It came back to me. Thank you. Is that your PlayStation 6 portable is going to play all your console games?
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's probably going to be a digital-only device. You're not going to be able to put a giant CD, a Blu-ray into your portable console. They're not going to have like a little UMD container to put your disc
I've only ever seen modded hardware do that kind of thing.
So this is only going to play digital games, but it's going to play all your PS4 games. It's going to play all your PS5 games, and it's going to play all your PlayStation 6 games.
Yeah.
Not PC versions of those games.
Right.
It's actually going to play those games natively on your PlayStation.
Like a PlayStation device should.
Right. So this Xbox handheld is not really an Xbox.
No, it's a PC, and it sounds like they're trying to whatever the opposite of unify. I don't know. They're trying to like decentralize their own ecosystem into like some cloud thing that just hits all devices and is called PC or called anything really.
I will be curious to see if they try to pitch their next generation Xbox as still an Xbox.
Yeah.
Or if they are if they're upfront about, hey, these Xbox and PC, combine.
This thing we said is an Xbox. It's not really an Xbox, guys.
But it's an Xbox. We're all Xbox now.
Right. You're an Xbox. You're an Xbox. Oh, that's ridiculous. All of this is ridiculous. I don't see. Okay, here I go.
Okay, here we go.
I don't see Microsoft Xbox existing at all.
What's your timeline for that?
One.
Do you think they will even? Okay, so there have been rumors that Xbox
one generation to answer.
One more generation.
Yeah.
Okay, so there have been recent rumors that like Xbox is done. Like they're actually done.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think internally they're done.
Right. Like they are in panic mode right now, trying to see if they can pivot one last time to pull through this before they just go full blown third-party games publisher.
Yes, yeah, and that's where they're going. Yeah. That's exactly where they're going.
Because they're going to publish on PC.
They're going to go Sega's route.
Yeah, they're going to be a PC. They're going to publish on PC, PlayStation, and Nintendo.
Yes,
and like that's it.
We've already seen the precursor to that with certain games. You know, certain Xbox exclusive publishers or franchises being published to Switch.
Oh yeah, it's almost day one. Everything comes out on PlayStation and Switch now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, or within like 3 or 4 months.
That's crazy. Yeah, Xbox is not a competitor in the console war anymore. They're not.
It's crazy because I don't celebrate Xbox's death.
I don't either.
I think it's bad for the industry.
I think it's bad.
Sony's arrogance has been off the charts these last few years, and it's only going to get worse when there's no Xbox consoles anymore.
That's going to hit the players.
Oh, yeah. It's going to hit the players.
But I do think someone will fill their shoes when Microsoft is completely... not a console holder.
So Steam, I feel like, is actually a Steam Deck to me as a console.
It is.
Because it runs on their proprietary software that runs PC games.
Yeah.
And it has to be launched. Like Steam OS is their operating system. Yes. Of course, it's Linux-based, like most game console.
I agree with you, and I did consider Quest to be a console, too.
Sure.
So, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So, and there's been rumors that Steam is actually preparing to create Steam boxes. Mm-hmm. They've tried this once in the past. It didn't do too well, but I think they're sensing Microsoft's exit, and they want to push into that space.
Steam boxes released like retail at one point?
Yeah, there were like pre-built PCs that were like Steam branded.
That's right.
But I think they want to branch into actually selling console like Steam OS based boxes that that you can actually run connect to your TV like a console you would.
Yeah, okay. So here's what's happening. Microsoft Xbox is trying to evolve into this nebulous PC thing, but Steam is already that.
Yeah.
And already has a big head start on them in that regard. Even like their handheld $1,000 fucking freaking handheld device is a Steam Deck. It's just a bigger, beefier under the hood Steam Deck because it's newer.
So what one advantage I would say this $1,000 Xbox handheld has is that it can have all the PC game launchers, and it does have a special interface that is designed, like a special version of Windows that they've like co-developed to make it easy to switch between all these launchers and launch all your games. Whereas Steam, you're stuck with just what you own on Steam. You can't launch from your what's Epic's, the Epic launcher.
Epic Game Store.
Yeah, you can't use any of that stuff. Of course, you can mod your Steam Deck to just run Windows.
Yeah.
But then your user experience is going to be poor compared to what it is if you just stayed within Steam OS.
Right.
So that was a big thing for Microsoft, making a special UI for this handheld. And, that's cool that you'll be able to easily switch. But, I mean, that's just a convenience thing.
Yeah.
It's not actually doing anything new that the Steam Deck can't do.
Yeah.
So it's going to do everything a lot better because it's a newer device. It's a really top tier, high end device.
Yeah.
And the Steam Deck, no doubt, Steam Deck 2 is coming in the near future.
Yeah. The Steam Deck was somewhat of a success, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like, it's not sold at retail. You can only buy it directly from Steam. I think I could be wrong. I want to say it's like 2 million units sold.
Yeah, that's a success for something like that. That's not even pushed to retail.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so. And no, like, it advertises itself.
Yeah.
You know, just the people who use Steam. You know.
yeah.
So yeah, Xbox is just in a really precarious position. I think they are scrambling to try and find their niche. I think their backup plan, they already know what it is. They just walk away from consoles and go, okay, we're now the world's largest third-party publisher.
Yeah, basically.
You know, and I guess they're probably not too sad about that.
Yeah,
hardware's probably a headache.
Honestly, yeah, it is. We know that. We know that Atari's efforts to try to conquer that, or you know, but
well
also
documented.
Yeah, well documented. Also, too, they haven't been doing anything new, you know? Like, PlayStation at least has, like, the DualSense technology and stuff, and, you know, with PS5, there was a lot of new stuff that they introduced.
Yeah, I appreciate that, like, they don't just, here's a controller again.
Yeah.
They always try to do a little something unique. I mean, it really was an iteration.
They're trying with VR.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could have put way more effort into PSVR too, but
I don't think we'll see another VR.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think VR is kind of on its way out. I want to be wrong.
Right. I mean, I just think it's just home is not on consoles. Like, VR is such a super enthusiast, hobbyist kind of activity.
Yeah,
I think it'll exist long into the future. I think there may be better applications than games for VR.
Sure, there are. I mean, yeah, for sure. Military training, pilot training.
I mean, you can map anything in VR. You can design a house in VR. You know?
I want to say that my point is just that PlayStation at least tries to, like, innovate on the console experience, and Nintendo obviously does. What does Xbox do? They just release a beefier machine.
Yeah. Well, that was always their thing,
and raise their prices.
It always worked.
Yeah.
Like, Xbox was the powerhouse console.
Right.
We were in high school.
And honestly, I take that back. They do innovate. They innovate on DRM and how they can upcharge you more, you know, for Game Pass, how they can consolidate Game Pass, how they can convert what was it? What was the Club Xbox thing before Game Pass called? Gamer Card or Gamer Tag?
I don't remember.
Whatever.
Xbox Live.
That's it. Xbox Live. How they can convert that into Gamer Pass. That's their innovation, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Is how they can.
A bunch of stuff they'll get accolades for at, like, business, you know, awards.
Right.
You know, like, hey, good job. You know,
raising those
the consumers.
prices.
You know.
Yeah.
There's a value.
Yeah. Like, what a heroic thing to do. You know. Like, from. I don't know. I can't see any kind of redemption for Xbox.
Yeah, I think they'll try one more time. I think they're maybe too far along to not try. Well, we saw they canceled their handheld because they were developing their own proprietary
We
handheld.
didn't even talk about why. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so basically, recently it came out that they were working, I believe, with AMD. It might have been someone else.
They started with AMD.
But basically, AMD or whoever, the chip maker, was like, okay, we need a 10 million minimum order.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is too costly for us to go in on this endeavor with you.
Yeah.
And Xbox was like, well, there's no way we're selling 10 million
handhelds. I don't know if that's even necessarily true from AMD. Like, that is what they said, but I don't know if that's... I think they could have done small. I think what it was is when you order in bulk like that, it's going to be so many dollars or cents per chip.
Right.
Versus if you ordered 5 million, it would just be an amount per chip that Microsoft isn't willing to spend.
Yeah. So
they probably could make 5 million units with AMD. They just don't want to pay that price per chip. They want the discounted price with the 10 million or bust.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
It was probably too high of a cost.
Yeah.
Microsoft is like, no, we have a backup plan that will convince everyone is the same thing as what we were originally planning.
Right.
And I don't know. I was at IGN Live when they announced this handheld thing.
Yeah.
And I was in a little theater screening of the Xbox summer game presentation or whatever the heck they call it, showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And people were going gaga for this thing because Xbox was like, all your games on the go. Except there's like a big, huge asterisk there because it's not actually all your games.
Yeah.
It's all your PC games.
Yeah. And
not your console games.
Yeah.
Sure, some of your console games will work. But what they're really counting on is that you subscribe to this $30 a month program, and that's going to keep you busy on this handheld that you just paid $1,000 for.
And if you had like the CEO or whatever, somebody, an executive from Xbox standing in front of you, and you were like, "It's not all my games, it's just my PC games," their response to you would be something like, "Oh, well, when you have Xbox Game Pass Premium or Ultimate." You get the PC game, so it's not a big, like, subscribe to our thing, and it's not a problem.
Yeah. All your games will be on PC, too.
Yeah, right.
All the ones you want to play. None of that old stuff. None of that junk that nobody cares
that
about.
old junk. Who likes that? Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
So, another thing that's kind of been in the news as of late, Unity, which, if you know anything about me and what I do, aside from the podcast, I use Unity and have since Unity 2. Unity came out and announced or publicized that they had discovered a vulnerability that goes all the way back to 2017.1, which was a long time ago. That is an old version.
Right.
That is old. And the vulnerability was discovered in June. I knew about it in June.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll talk about that later. After I'm just gonna get through the facts of the story, and then I'll expound, or whatever that word is, extrapolate. What the exploit was, what it was. It potentially would allow individuals to manipulate the loading process for Unity applications, or applications built in Unity, which could allow them to execute their own local code and gain access to privilege level files and information within that application. So knowing that, or what this exploit actually does, you can kind of already get a picture of what kind of games this would actually affect. It's not going to be your little indie games. There is no privilege level in those.
Oh, okay.
There's no credit card information.
Okay.
If there's a server backend or something, maybe they could get access to like server keys or something and hack your server, or do what all these bots that just comb the internet trying to. If you own a server and you have cybersecurity installed, you'll notice a bunch of login attempts, like thousands of login attempts every day.
Wow.
On your and it's just bots.
Brute forcing.
Yeah.
Trying to brute force their way in.
Every server that exists gets this. So someone could access your server if you have backend information like that. But as far as any little projects, it's not really a big deal if someone gets into your application.
I see. So what you're saying is this probably doesn't affect Seraphim.
Well, I do have server backend, so I do want to protect that. Yeah. But I've already switched version. I've already re-downloaded 17. So on the Unity, I really should get through the rest of the story first. No, it's cool. I'm gonna get through the rest of the story, and then I'll come back
to it.
Yeah. So they publicized this now to give the teams time to partner with Android and Windows and Steam and all the other platform holders to implement their safeguards. Unity also released a patch for developers who don't want to rebuild the actual file, they have a patch that they can launch, like deploy through the publishing portal.
Nice.
On iOS or Android or Steam. That kind of just fixes the existing application.
That's being distributed.
Exactly. So Unity is also encouraging developers to recompile their projects with the updated Unity software. So what that basically means is that Unity has already, and they did this a while ago already, a few months before the story kind of broke to the general public, Unity developers did kind of get notified already, like in increments, I think. But especially those using old versions. Unity has their website where you download the current version of Unity. They also have their download archive where you can go back and download versions all the way back to Unity 4, I think.
Okay.
And so all those versions of Unity have been updated with this issue fixed. So if you haven't published a game yet, this doesn't affect you.
Okay.
Because you can just update Unity, your version of Unity, and when you do build your game and publish it.
So this is something interesting I didn't know, is that like they have a repository of every year and version of Unity, and they make updates to those individual versions.
Only when it's something like this.
Okay.
They won't like do like service them.
Because 2017.1 is that the version that's Seraphim?
17 is in 17.4.
Oh, okay.
Right now. I'm still up in the air if I want to update that to like just go all modern. Okay. I would need to update to like Windows 11 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Because
support for Windows 10 is ending very soon. Yeah, I believe.
Well, I'm rocking Windows 7 Ultimate, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's my favorite operating system of all time is Windows 7 Ultimate. So I have that. That's not going to be viable for much longer. I have to.
Like your computer is probably very vulnerable.
Yeah, well, there's that. But even just from a development standpoint,
careful what websites you go to.
Yeah, I know, dude. But even from just a developer standpoint, your operating system isn't being supported anymore.
Yeah.
So everybody from Unity to every other engine is like ending support. So I have to update my Windows, and then I might enact the labor of updating Unity and converting Seraphim to like the latest and greatest.
You've done that before.
I know I've done that before. Yeah. Well, once. Okay. I started in like 5.4.
Okay.
And then I jumped up to 2017.4.
Okay.
To get access to Switch support, I think. And then, that was also the last version to support Vita.
Right. So you have Vita and Switch support on
that one version, yeah. So jumping forward, I would go like as far forward as I could.
Right. Because
a lot of the tools in the new Unity, it's a whole different world. If I did do that.
I think that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm back and forth, dude. Yeah. Like I don't have an answer.
That's just me, but like I know your plate is already full. Imagine having to relearn.
Yeah.
Nearly a decade's worth of Unity revisions.
And I already know what's going to happen. I'll update the engine, and there'll be all these brand new animation tools and all these brand new particle tools. I got to convert all that. I got to make it all up to date. And you keep doing that long enough, and your game's never going to come out. It never, never. Like, you're constantly updating your technology. It's a trap.
Yep. You just got to eventually hold on to one and just stay.
And I've already, like... Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't want to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
What do you make of this? They say that their quick fix is unlikely to break most games.
Unlikely to break most games.
How confident are you that if you had Seraphim on the market, that this fix wouldn't break your game?
So, one point that they make also in this story is that if projects contain quote-unquote anti-cheat or anti-tamper or tamper-proofing software, then it could mess with that. Yeah. So they have, first of all, they have to say unlikely to break most games.
Because it might break a game.
Because, yeah, they don't know what anyone's doing with their code.
Yeah.
I could write the craziest thing.
Yeah.
But it could also be said to include just games that have anti-cheat.
It's been a week or so since this story broke, and I haven't heard of any crazy stories about games breaking after this patch being applied.
Right. So the breadth of the issue wasn't communicated to me, but I was prompted to re-download.
17.4?
Yeah, back in June.
Okay. So that's interesting that you were just like, a random update to 17.4.
I mean, yeah, well, they did tell you a little bit that, hey, there's this issue. We'll say more in the future, but go ahead and, update your software. Old versions are available. So I have seen them update their download archive before, by the way. This isn't the first time I've seen them do that. But they did that when they got rid of Unity script or their JavaScript support. Anyways, so yeah, I do have anti-cheat measures in Seraphim, but they're written by me. I wrote, basically obfuscated my own values and stuff in the game. So if you used some memory tracker software to give yourself a higher score, my game would see you didn't kill that many enemies, and it would. I don't want to spoil what it would do, but yeah, it would react. So I wrote that code in C#. That's not like this is talking about like some anti-cheat plugin that's from, some other like anti-cheat engine that's built into your game. I don't have anything like that. So does it affect Seraphim? No. I already updated the engine. I'm going to be good. I haven't published anything. If I had already published Seraphim, there'd need to be more work involved.
Okay.
I would probably push a new build.
Okay.
Because I don't just trust a patch.
Right.
That I didn't
someone else.
Yeah, from someone else. Which is also what Unity recommends. They recommend you push out your own build.
Right. But some people, those things may be lost.
Yeah. Or their current Windows 20 doesn't support Unity 5.4 anymore.
Yeah.
So there's a number of reasons why they wouldn't want to do that, or they don't have the game files anymore, or they just don't want to run that old clunker whatever it is. So
maybe not the biggest issue for Unity. They've definitely had more pressing matters in recent years. Do you look at this as like an embarrassing thing for Unity, or something that they totally contained?
I'm gonna say they handled it the best they couldn't have handled it better. They made people aware of the issue. They discovered the issue on their own, by the way. There are no notable...
Well, I read something that it was discovered by someone from outside the company.
Okay.
But as a bounty, they reported it to Unity to get paid by them.
Yeah. Unity does have user programs like that.
Yeah.
You're probably right about... you must have read that from somewhere. But I do know that there aren't any known instances of somebody...
No one took advantage of this. It is crazy that for 8 years, this laid there in every version of Unity.
Dude, no software is 100% secure.
Oh, I know.
And every
it's just impressive that no hacker or malicious person found this until for this long.
Especially with how crazy gamers are in finding secrets and that kind of thing in the code.
Yeah.
You think some Unity gamer would have figured out this kind of thing, but I don't know. You can dump Unity files. I've dumped it. I've dumped Unity games before. I've dumped my oown game before.
Yeah.
Did a data dump and saw all my models and my scripts and everything all separated out as separate files. So if I really wanted to, I could dump a game, rebuild it, and then have complete access to everything. Like just reassemble it in engine. So I don't. Maybe that's just me, dude. But okay. Yeah, so this is some exploit at the loading screen to get into the files. Well, I can just dump the files, so I don't personally understand what the big, like, I already know Unity games you can dump them. Yeah. Like, it's not secure. Don't put your credit card number in your Unity game. Like,
definitely not.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not a big setback for me. I think Unity handled it impressively. They warned the public about it. They immediately came out with a tool for users to implement and updated all their old archives.
Right.
Like, it's super easy to fix.
Yeah, I personally thought the same as you, that they handled it pretty well. Yeah. It didn't actually affect anyone negatively, beyond maybe being an inconvenience for everyone to have to update their...
Right. Which, if you're pissed at Unity for that, like, get a grip.
Yeah.
Like,
they did you a favor.
Yeah. So...
Before you got angry customers.
Come on, Unity, your engine wasn't perfect 8 years ago.
Well, your opinion on Unity is basically gospel to me, so I think that's a wrap on that topic right there.
Yeah.
So, anything else there? Are you ready to move on?
No, that's it. That's the whole story.
Okay. So, we don't have any more stories, but we wanted to do just a fun discussion. Well, maybe it'll be fun. Maybe it'll be heated. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
About the state of modern Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm.
So to start this conversation, I thought we should both come to a consensus on where do we look at as the first modern Pokemon game. Mm-hmm. For me, my mind immediately jumps to Sword and Shield.
Okay.
I look at anything that came prior to that as now basically not retro per se, but like that was the old guard of Pokemon. That was the old style of Pokemon games.
I go further back.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, so where does modern begin for you?
After Black and White 2.
Okay, so after the DS games.
Yeah. Well, no. After Black and White 2, so it's beginning with, I think, X and Y.
Right, those are 3DS games.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying,
yeah. Okay, to me, those games, while the graphics are 3D, they still play identically. They still have the same town.
Well, it has nothing to do with the graphics. My decision to say that has nothing to do with it.
But like, there is no difference between Black and White 2 and X and Y to me. Beyond, I guess we got our first major gimmick in X and Y.
Right. Yes, that's one.
Okay.
Also, like, that's when they started, like, making shiny Pokemon hunting easier, and actually Black and White 2 is when they introduced, it was actually the first games to get the shiny charm, but
right.
I'll forgive that for Black and White 2. I could say Black and White 2 is like the first modern, just because of the shiny charm.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I don't think we're coming to a consensus on when modern.
So,
but okay, for the sake of this argument, let's talk about the more recent.
But here's the thing, though. There isn't a cutoff point. Like, this is a progressive thing that's happened. Like, all of these symptoms of quote-unquote modern Pokemon games is a progression over the whole franchise. It's not just like there's a...
Okay, but we don't have time to start from...
I don't know.
From Gen 1.
I'm not saying we should. But like you asked, I think the modern Pokemon game syndrome, quote unquote, is...
I wasn't aware there was a syndrome.
It's a collection of mechanics that are progressively being introduced over the course of Pokemon games.
Okay.
Beginning with, in my opinion, making shinies easier.
Okay, doesn't that go all the way back to Diamond and Pearl? Wasn't there a tool that you could use to change shinies in fields of grass? Where like it would make Gosh, what was it
Outside
called?
of a glitch, I don't think so. And you can tell me about the Masuda method,
No,
but
no, no,
that's
no,
not
no.
even...
No, I'm talking about there's an it's not called the Pokewalker, not the Pokenav, but you could stand in a bush area where wild Pokemon appear,
Yeah.
and you would use the item, and it would make like 3 bushes around you start shaking.
Mm-hmm.
And you go to one of those bushes, and then let's say a Bidoof appears. So that starts now a Bidoof chain.
Okay.
So you then, you get out of that battle. Either you defeat it or catch it.
That was in Diamond and Pearl?
I believe so. Maybe Platinum.
Okay.
And then, yeah, you keep chaining it, and eventually the shiny rate goes up.
Well, in the spirit of what you're saying, I need to pick a point. So that sounds difficult.
Okay, well, instead of where modern Pokemon games begin, since we only have so much time, let's just start with Sword and Shield, since that's relatively recent.
Okay.
And just move. Let's talk about everything that's come
all right.
from
We'll
then.
default to what you want.
No, I just mean we don't have enough time to go back to Black and White too.
That's fine. We'll start there.
So, what did you like about Sword and Shield, and what didn't you like?
There was a lot I did enjoy about it. I liked the live areas. I liked the just differences from Sun and Moon.
Sure.
Which we have to talk about some of the older ones. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we can bring up things about it.
So X and Y started Mega Evolutions. That was like the first generational gimmick.
Okay.
And then we got Z moves.
Yes.
Right, which I also love.
Sun and Moon.
Yes, and Sun and Moon. And so in Sword and Shield, we got Dynamax, Gigantamax, and all that kind of thing. The live area was also a new key feature. Customizing characters, and that was in Sun and Moon, I believe.
Did you feel like those open world live areas, wild areas, whatever they were called, they felt very cut and pasted into me? Like you went from this very traditional town route kind of thing, and then all of a sudden it throws you into one of 2 big open areas.
So it did feel like a separate package, like it was developed separately.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of games have that though.
It just I know different teams work on different portions of the game, and then it all gets kind of stitched together at the end.
Right. I would say it did definitely feel different than running around a town or walking through one of those linear paths.
Yeah. Like I think Sword and Shield
which to me though that worked for it because it's a live area. It should feel like a different
I agree.
navigation.
I didn't hate Sword and Shield. I kind of miss it was the last game that had that traditional route town thing. I don't know that we'll ever get another Pokemon game like that.
Yeah.
Because everything is open world now.
Yeah.
If we're going to talk about maybe the biggest thing that happened to Pokemon, it's that we now have large open environments or just flat out completely huge open worlds. And that began with Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
With these smaller open environments where there's secrets to find, your traditional open world kind of stuff to do.
Yes. Yeah. You're talking about the live areas.
The live area. Is that what they were called? Live area?
Yeah.
I really can't remember.
Yeah. Or maybe they were wild area. I think it was. I don't know.
All right.
It's either live area or wild.
We might not have the perfected, preferred, Pokemon approved names for these things down.
These games have been out for a while.
Yeah. I mean that's 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Almost a decade. Well, not quite.
So for me, you're right. I see what you're saying about like them getting more open world with it, and that to you is like the biggest change. For me, it's the difference in difficulty and where it's going. For me, that's like...
Now, was Pokemon... Okay, this is a big question. We were little kids when Pokemon came out. We were 8, 9, 10.
That don't mean nothing.
Right, but were those games truly difficult, or were we just younger and dumber?
No, well, at the time they didn't feel difficult because we had no other Pokemon games to compare them to. And
maybe.
I was actually just like last night I was binge watching a YouTube channel that goes through like just only red and green and yellow, going through like top 10 underrated Pokemon, top 10 best moves, top 10 worst moves in just those games.
Yeah.
And I was really seeing like how tough those games are compared to like how just instant gratification the Pokemon games are today. It's ridiculous. If you want to get your Pokemon level 100, you just feed it. Takes 2 seconds. Feed it a bunch of candy. Ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the candies. I mean, candies have been a thing since day one of Pokemon.
Yeah, there were rare candies. There were a whole, like, 6 of them.
Well, they lived up to their name. They were rare.
Yeah.
There wasn't so many. I mean, of course, players found a way to make a lot of rare candies happen.
Yeah, through glitches and things. And Game Shark.
But now, these games, they have these sort of collaborative things like raids, and you get these candies from these raids, and you can find these candies out in the wild that give you large chunks of XP.
Yeah.
That might raise you several levels rather than just one level.
Yeah. It's just, it doesn't, like, grinding doesn't feel, it feels like a waste of time. I should just feed it candies.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to engage with the candy stuff while I'm playing through the main game itself.
Yeah.
I save all that for like post game.
But that's a player induced challenge.
Sure.
And that's not what we're talking about.
I mean, everything.
That's not game design from the developer. It's you saying, I'm not going to use that because it's too easy.
Well, they have a lot of people they got to please. And I'm not trying to defend Pokemon here. But, like, the core, like, the people that go to these championships and these tournaments and things, they have long complained that, like, to actually ready Pokemon for these tournaments and adapt to what's going on.
Okay, so give them some tools.
Right. And they kind of are starting to do something like that with Pokemon Champions, where you're going to be able to, like, actually, like, easily modify the Pokemon stats and abilities and things like that.
Natures and stuff.
Right, without having to, like, do insane amounts of grinding in the games themselves. Because it used to be in the old games, if you screwed up one of your EVs, you had to, like, re-raise that Pokemon from scratch.
Yeah.
And so what it led to was a lot of people cheating, generating Pokemon using these programs on PC and then loading their Pokemon into the games.
Yeah.
And nowadays players get disqualified when they do the legality checkers for these things, because all of a sudden the meta around the game has totally shifted, and now you need a Tornadus that's got 0 IV and speed, and you got a tournament in 3 days, and it's like, how are you going to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, tournaments are a whole other animal, and that can be remedied by just exclusive tools for competitors.
Right. But even the raids that they're constantly, 7-star raids that they do in, say, Scarlet and Violet, like, they expect you to create a Pokemon to counter these raids, these limited time raids that are around for 3 days.
Yeah.
So I feel like these things are there for that kind of content, not necessarily for the story mode progression content. I feel like it is more of an end game tool. Now, I agree. I used to have a lot of fun grinding, leveling up my Pokemon, really, like, loving my team and like feeling like we were a team.
It doesn't feel that way anymore. When you got to the end of Gold and Silver, you had like 6 to 8 Pokemon that were like, you're close. These are my powerful Pokemon. These are the ones I use. They're throwaways now.
Yeah.
Completely.
I agree, because like when one of these 7-star raid comes out, I'll boost up some Pokemon just to counter this one raid. And then that Pokemon just sits in a box. Like, it's not my friend. I didn't journey with this Pokemon.
I'll release it in a heartbeat. Like, yeah, we didn't, like, grow up. It wasn't Ash and Pikachu.
No. I met you 30 minutes ago, and now I'm done with you.
Exactly. That, to me, is it losing its spirit.
I think that's a fair thing to be upset. Now, some people would think you're a mad person. This is a video game. Grow up.
Yeah, right.
Like,
well, why do we even have this podcast if that's the case?
But I'm not saying I believe that. But yeah, there are people who, like, I don't know, that your feelings don't matter about Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, they're here for the glory, and these Pokemon are just tools. They're the villains in like a Pokemon anime. They're the Team Rocket. They don't see them as partners. I'm not talking about Jesse and James. They're a special case.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Team Rocket at large.
Yeah.
You know, like they don't care. They don't have a bond. They just want them for more power, and that's how I look at it.
Yeah. What's the difference between the player and Team Rocket at this point? It used to be that the player raised the Pokemon and they became this family and his partners, and he relied on them. Now it's not that. It's the player is no different from Team Rocket.
We're just using and abusing these dudes.
Yeah.
Pumping and dumping them.
Exactly. Pump them, pump them, and dump them.
So yeah, obviously, you know, something I miss is that sense of. Now, I still form that bond with my initial party in a new game. Like if I use 3 or 4 Pokemon consistently, I have a special box at home where I put like my partners from a game. Yeah. Like my journey part. Like, hey, we've been through thick and thin. We made it all the way to the end of this together.
I mean, I think you're always in a Pokemon game. You're always gonna have a party, right? You're gonna change out one Pokemon here and
Sometimes you got it,
you know. But like, it's gonna always be like, this is my core team. Yeah, I don't see that going away, unless they made it like all Pokemon are just instantly level 100 when you catch them or something. I don't. Yeah, they're not gonna. You know what I mean?
I mean, you can catch Pokemon at really high levels now. Yeah, in a lot of these games, it's like 70s and 80s.
Yeah, to the point where you just have to level it up once, to evolve it.
I don't think I've ever caught anything in the 90s.
Yeah, well, no, but like the latest DLC.
Sure, you can get some really high level stuff.
None of them are not at their evolution level. They're all level 60
that's what
70,
you mean. That's what you mean. Yeah, you level it up once and it'll evolve. You level it up one more time and it'll evolve the next time.
Exactly.
I mean, they kind of have to do that. Otherwise, you're running into an endgame DLC and like, you're battling level 3 Bellsprouts. Like, they got to make those Pokemon more of a challenge. Yeah. Let's talk about DLC. That's a fairly recent development.
Before we move on real quick from Sword and Shield, another big thing happened with those games. Okay. A big first. Do you want to guess?
DLC?
No.
I think that did come first.
Oh, that probably is, yes. Yeah. That's another first, but that's not what I was thinking of.
What are you thinking of?
The first freaking games where the whole Pokedex was not in the game.
Yes.
And that was a big, for me...
affectionately referred to as Dexit.
Dexit.
Due to the world, the Brexit
exit that was happening. We know what the excuse is, and it's an excuse.
Sure, it's an excuse.
Because you should have seen this coming. Like, if you just keep making new Pokemon, eventually it's going to get to ridiculous numbers, and you're going to have to figure that out, like, ahead of time. You know?
The official excuse is that, hey, there's just too many Pokemon now.
Yeah, so
we can't animate them all. We can't bring them all into every single game.
Right.
So that's just not happening
Which
anymore.
They're not reanimating them. They're using the same animation clips.
I mean, they make improvements to the models. They do new things. They do improve the animations generation to generation. But it's not always a huge technological leap.
I mean, like, one generation will have Pokemon eating candy, another one will have them in showcases or whatever, so you need new animations for them eating and stuff. So I understand that, like, there is still work to be done on the Pokemon models and their respective assets, but it's I don't... Yeah, you know, it's not the same anymore. Now it's like, I wonder if the next generation is going to support my favorite Pokemon or not. Yeah. It shouldn't be that way. Yeah. That's not how...
Just change your favorite Pokemon to Pikachu. Yeah. And you won't ever have to worry about that.
Right. And that's another thing. It seems like they're really just cookie-cuttering their freaking audience. And, you know, everyone loves Pikachu. That's everyone's favorite Pokemon. I feel like there are people at the Pokemon Company who genuinely, legit believe that everyone on the planet's favorite Pokemon is Pikachu because they dictated that.
It's definitely not my favorite Pokemon. But I won't deny that, like, everyone, and I say everyone, not necessarily meaning 100% of people. Yeah. But loosely, everyone enjoys Pikachu.
Yeah, you're going to be hard pressed to find someone who hates Pikachu.
I mean, if they hate Pikachu, it's probably just because
It's from overexposure. Yeah.
It's not from like you're a horrible Pokemon and you deserve to die.
You're in my face all the time.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, so that was another big issue for me with starting with Sword and Shield. And now it's the norm, of course.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, they've gotten pretty good about getting almost all of them.
Yeah, but that's not all of them.
Yeah. I mean, I think after Scarlet and Violet, there's like a couple dozen only that are missing. It's kind of, after Scarlet and Violet's DLC, there's only a couple dozen that are actually missing from the game. Which sucks because it's like you really couldn't have figured out a way to get them in here.
They could have.
But I mean, the only one, like, there's maybe like Unknown. I can maybe see that somehow being a hassle. I could see Furfrou sort of being a hassle.
Yeah, the big, what I call the project Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I mean,
they could still make it happen.
Yeah,
it's not impossible.
We're talking about DLC. I can there's no limit to how much you can make me download. Yeah. You know, like the disc, argument at least has some merit, but no, they don't have a leg to stand on here, dude.
Now I could see Pokemon was originally known for having almost like a yearly release cadence for several years. We were having some kind of a new Pokemon game.
That got to be overwhelming because there's a lot of investment that goes into a Pokemon generation for a player. You got to play through both versions.
Yeah.
You got to get to the end. You got to do all the post-game stuff. Whatever trading and collaborating with other players you got to do.
And so Sword and Shield was part of that release cadence.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I could have tolerated that argument for Sword and Shield, where it was like, all right, I get it. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon just came out last year.
Yeah.
Or no, Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee just came out last year. But now you're telling me a year later. And then 3 years later, when more games are coming out, that you're still not including all Pokemon.
Right.
I think they started it with Sword and Shield, but then after Scarlet and Violet didn't have them all, it was like, okay, like
this is how it is.
This is how it is. That wasn't a one-off thing.
Yeah.
Like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee remakes of Red and Blue.
Right.
It makes sense.
That's how all of these like corporate video game trends start. Oh, forgive us, we have this excuse. And then it's just continuing on to the future how we do it.
But I mean, what do we do? Stop playing Pokemon?
Right. At some point, that's the answer.
Really? You're on that path?
For
me, there's nothing like a new Pokemon.
Okay, game. I'm not like hating the Pokemon games right now. Right. Don't get me wrong here. Like I really do like Scarlet and Violet quite a lot. So I'm not, still good games, but do they have the spirit of like Red and Blue? No way.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not even close. Gold and Silver was not far off from Red and Blue. I feel like the difficulty was kind of comparable. Red and Blue, like Wrap, didn't allow you to attack at all. If you were wrapped, you remember that?
Like 7 turns.
Yeah, 7 turns. Sleep was 1 to 7 turns.
Yeah.
1 to 7.
Yeah.
Now sleep is 1 to 3.
I replay Red, Blue, Yellow, one of those every couple of years.
Yeah.
Just because for me, it's like one of the most comforting games in the world I can play.
It is.
And sometimes I'm just like, dear God.
Yeah. And
how did I put up with this back then?
And now. I don't know.
I mean, those kinds of changes, I think...
when it comes to balance, that's not easing the game up.
Battle balance, yeah.
That's not easing the game up. That's making it balanced. Red and Blue also had a lot of other problems. For example, focus energy was broken, supposed to raise your critical hit ratio, but instead it cuts it to 25%.
There's a lot of bugs.
Yeah, so focus energy is literally like hurts you to use it.
When I replay these games, I replay patched versions that have been basically fixed in post by fans to have these glitches like not present anymore. So you're actually playing it how the developers wanted you to play it,
right?
But they didn't know it wasn't actually working.
But to me, that's a...
I know we've been over this before, and let's not even start there.
Intentional or not, that's
what ships.
That is the true form. And also, Ghost is actually not super effective against Psychic in the game.
Yeah.
Even though it was clearly intended to be.
Yeah.
Like Lick and Dream Eater are not super effective. So there's stuff like that. I think Mist is broken. Like, anyways, they changed a bunch of stuff to make certain moves and battle situations easier, like Wrap.
Yeah.
They changed the design of it. They also changed the design of Rage, I think. Rage had some low accuracy. It's a terrible move. I think they raised that accuracy to like 80 instead of like 55.
All right, we're getting real technical.
Yeah,
right
okay,
now.
Anyways. But my point is that they kept the spirit when they went gold, silver. And now we're looking at, well, shinies. We haven't talked about shinies yet. They're turning...
I didn't even know we were talking about shinies.
All right, so gold and silver introduced shinies.
Yes.
And it was 1 in 8,000 something or another.
Yep.
And you could go the entire game without seeing one in the wild, other than this one scripted one.
Right.
So super rare, dude.
Yeah, like actually rare.
Collecting those, like...
An impossibility.
So having a few of them even is a big deal.
Oh yeah.
You know,
those are like jewels in a crown.
Is it that way anymore?
No.
No, I got 30 shiny Teddy Ursas sitting at home right now. Like,
part of that is Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like Pokemon Go really messed up people's expectations of shinies. I mean, certainly they made it easier to get shinies. They halved it to 1 out of 4,000 at one point.
Yeah, which is, I mean, to me...
Which is still really hard to find a wild Pokemon. You're more likely to find at least one in a single playthrough now of those games.
Yeah.
But you could still go a whole playthrough and never find a shiny at 1 out of 4,000.
Mm-hmm. Well, with as many Pokemon as are spawning on screen in Scarlet and Violet, I don't know if I agree with that.
Okay, I'm talking about when 1 of 4,000 was originally introduced.
The DS games,
Scarlet and Violet, yes. And even on Switch 2, you have double the spawn rates now of Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, shoot.
So it's it's almost too many Pokemon on screen because you're literally bumping into them every like 5 steps.
Oh, yeah, and then some of them are aggressive and stuff. Yeah. Forget that, dude. Like 10 Scythers.
But man, the game runs like a dream. So I wouldn't go back to playing it anywhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so shiny Pokemon have become just too accessible.
Instant gratification, candy.
We're now like at first it was like, oh, I'm not worried about collecting shiny Pokemon. Whatever ones I get, I'll get.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's accessible enough that it makes you want to hunt for them.
Yeah.
And I enjoy shiny hunting.
We both do. We both do.
We're both shiny addicts.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Right. But we can still acknowledge the difference in difficulty and
they're not special anymore.
They're not special. No, not at all.
They're just not.
Nor are you.
I don't even use shiny Pokemon ever.
No.
I wouldn't be caught dead using a shiny Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's like gaudy.
Yeah, it is. Pokemon. It is. Like, oh, you think that's special.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, you have an iPhone. Ooh.
But, yeah, they're not special, nor are your level 100s. No. They used to be. I have a level 100 Poliwrath. Oh, well, I have a level 100 Ampharos.
I mean, that was an investment of time.
Yeah. That's what, on middle school, that's what we talked about.
Yeah.
But what, do you have a level 100? Who is it?
Yeah.
He has a level 100 Machamp. No, that doesn't exist anymore. That's
the only thing
gone.
You can maybe brag about is if, like, you have a perfect shiny. Like, a naturally perfect shiny. All of its stats are maybe 100%.
Nobody cares. Nobody actually cares.
I don't know. I see people talk about their shundos in Pokemon Go. Like
Yeah, well, Pokemon Go is a different breed. You know what I mean? It's like it's a different audience completely. I think from the main games, a lot of crossover, sure.
Yeah,
But like,
not as much as you might think, though. Like I get like people like, oh, you play Pokemon Go,
yeah,
like that
no,
play the main series
yeah,
only,
right.
you know.
Yeah, there's that too.
And then vice versa,
there's
yeah.
like division going on too.
Like if you were to trade someone a Pokemon from Pokemon Go and it's got that little mark on it,
Yeah,
like people are like, oh, that's dirty,
yeah.
you know.
Well, I mean, it is and it isn't. In some ways, it's like you can't really hack that. Not as easily.
One area I will say that the actual Pokemon games, you can still earn a respectable shiny, is like the legendary Pokemon that can only be soft reset, that you have to restart your game to check for a shiny over and over again.
Yeah. But that's easier now. That's easier than it was.
Maybe. I feel like at least on the Game Boy games or like the Game Boy Advance and DS, you could press the start select AB to like quickly reset your game.
No, yeah, okay. Oh, I see what you're
The soft
saying.
resetting process, now you gotta like back out of the game, close it.
That was
reload.
a hardware detail, though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like a design detail. Like lowering the shiny rates.
Yeah.
You know.
Again, I mean, I'm still hunting for my shiny Arceus and Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and that's considered a full odds shiny. Like it's 1 out of 4,000. Like the only way to get that Pokemon shiny at all is through that method, and literally sitting there, launching their game, going to the encounter, not shiny, close the game, launch the game again.
I'm not saying 4,000 is easy. I'm saying 4,000 is easier than 8,000.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's nuts to sit there and like what you're doing is crazy to me.
Yeah, I got to do it while I'm like walking or something. Like I got to be doing something else. If I'm just sitting there doing that and focus solely on that,
literally lifetime is like draining from you.
So yeah, it's like I gotta be. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an investment of too many hours into something.
But that's what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
Like that's like a shiny that is still like a jewel.
Yeah.
In your crown.
Yeah.
Like if you get one of those, even by stupid luck, like you just go into that encounter and the first time you see it, there it is. It's shiny.
Yep.
Like congratulations, you just won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, full odd Pokemon, shiny Pokemons did still feel special.
Even in Scarlet and Violet. I still, like...
See, that's when it switched. Because now they're everywhere, dude. You can turn the game on and there's one on your screen.
That's true. I only found maybe 1 or 2 going from beginning of the game to end of the game. But yeah, I wasn't necessarily...
how many you walked past?
Oh yeah, so many. And that's also in and of itself kind of like paranoia inducing.
Yeah.
Like where I'm constantly like moving the camera around, like, am I missing something out here? But yeah, shiny Pokemon definitely not what they used to be.
No,
I think we're both in agreement there.
Yeah. So I think all of my points so far are all pointing in the same direction, like revealing the same fundamental issue that I have with the franchise.
Let's talk about an issue or something that has never existed in Pokemon.
Okay.
But something that people feel is long overdue. Like I see, this is like the number one complaint I see from people. Voice acting in Pokemon games.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? I think it's overdue to an extent. I don't think the game needs to be 100% voice acted, but I think key moments should be maybe even key character interactions.
Don't we have voice acted cinematics?
No. We have cinematics that look like they should be voice acted, but instead you're having to read a subtitle.
Yeah.
So you're trying to know what they're saying, but you can't act. But then you're not paying attention to the screen, so you're like missing what's going on. It's like their mouths are moving, like they're speaking. You know.
Yeah.
But Pokemon's excuse for a lack of voice acting has been, well, we have too many languages we localize this into.
Oh, welcome to games.
Yeah. You're the number one entertainment property in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
Every game has to deal with their pool of language support.
Now, here's the thing. Many games will have a dozen languages they support, but they might only have English and Japanese voice acting.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, English will work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Not just English-speaking countries, but countries where, you know...
Yeah, English is a second language in probably more countries than it is a first language.
Right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So, like, at least that gives us something.
Yeah.
Like, Pokemon can still keep their cries.
Yeah.
I get that.
That to me is the biggest. Forget the voice acting,
Okay,
dude.
here we go.
Forget the human voice acting. I'm sick of the Game Boy cries. I know you love them.
Wow.
I know you love them, okay? And I've learned to live with them. But no, dude. No. Okay, and don't tell me, well, the anime is not...
No. I'm
No.
not saying anything about the anime.
Pokemon Snap had it. Hey You Pikachu had it.
No, yeah. Spin-offs have voice acting.
Yeah, like
But the
voice
main
acted
series-
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, make the Pokemon sound like they do in the anime. Do it.
Now, what would you say if, because of voice actor unions and things, they may be precluded from working on, like, video games? What if the Pokemon don't sound like they do in the anime, but they're voice acted? Does that bother you?
There's a girl on YouTube that does all first 151 perfectly. Just take her, like, get her. Like, I don't care who does it. I care how it sounds.
Okay. So, if, let's say, a Pokemon game offered English and Japanese, you think the Pokemon should do their cry. Now, how annoying do you think that's going to get, though? Like, you're hunting shiny Psyducks, and it's Psyduck, Psyduck, Psyduck,
Yeah.
Psyduck,
Well,
Psyduck.
you have, audio listeners and audio speakers and distance
Right.
and stuff like that. Like, these are 3D games now.
Right.
You just walk away from it and you don't hear it anymore.
But you're shiny hunting it, so you're gonna
Well,
be hearing.
then turn your game down,
Like,
or
people-
just go in the options and turn it
People
off.
complain a lot of times about repetitive, like, voice acting diet, like where you're playing a golf game, and every time they hit the golf, oh yeah,
Yeah, banter.
oh yeah,
Banter in games.
yeah.
People
People are like, I need a slider to turn that off.
I like banter in games, but it does need a lot of samples.
Yeah,
Like, I should not hear the same line.
for 10 minutes.
Yeah, at least. But yeah, just put in the options.
Now, what would you say if...
And you know what? Just put a toggle in the options for voice or cries.
Right. Banter, like
Fixed.
how often it plays.
People like the nostalgia of the cries. I never got attached to it. I know you love it. Put it in the options. Make it like you already have the cries.
That's so interesting because you are such a traditionalist with a lot
Yeah,
of Pokemon stuff.
yeah.
And that's like one thing. You are on the opposite
Yeah.
spectrum of...
Well, my nostalgia... A
It's
lot
for
of
the
my
anime?
nostalgia comes from the anime.
I see.
Yeah, I think that might be why.
Okay.
And then the Game Boy cries are just like, this is like some...
Okay, so when you pick up Yellow version and Pikachu actually sounds like Pikachu,
Mm-hmm.
like what did that do for you?
That was great. I loved that. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. But Pikachu also sounded like Pikachu.
In several games, actually.
Yeah. In Hey You Pikachu and Pokemon Snap, they all had their voice in Pokemon Snap.
Even main series Pokemon games, Pikachu sounded like Pikachu.
Yeah.
It was the one Pokemon that had an exemption made for it.
Which, like, it's like, okay, so this is how it should be.
Pikachu is one of the few Pokemon that is Pikachu in every language.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotcha.
So I know they've started to do things to try to better unify certain Pokemon's names in different languages because it is...
Getting ridiculous.
Yeah, there's like 7 ways to say certain Pokemon's names.
Yeah.
Like there really shouldn't be... There should be Japanese and then everywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I only care about Pokemon in English and Japanese across all media. I care about the Japanese cards and I care about the English cards.
Right.
I don't care about the French cards. I'm sorry. I don't.
The German cards?
It's cool, but no, I don't. Like,
Okay, German gets in, it's cool.
I don't have, I give me the English and Japanese sets.
Right.
That's it. Give me the English and Japanese games. That's it.
Like, I know the French dub of Pokemon is, like, super beloved over there, the anime.
Mm-hmm.
Because of various things throughout that series that were, like, really kind of crazy and out there. So, like, the way you feel strongly about English, I'm sure other people feel strongly about, the French version.
Well, what do you have to say to them?
I would say it's unrealistic for us to expect that if they ever add voice acting, that every language, or that the game would be dubbed in every language it's available to be played in.
Right.
I just don't think it's reasonable. I do think, do they risk upsetting more players if that's the route they go?
Mm-hmm.
Where if it's only available in English and Japanese? Or is it better for them to just say, we're never going to do voice acting, and we're just going to, leave it unvoiced forever, and you'll just have to imagine what their things to sound like.
I'm trying to think.
I think they're trying to avoid that.
Yeah,
that
like
anger,
alienating.
that yeah.
Like people feeling like their childhood's been,
or that
cut off.
I guess I don't matter.
Yeah.
That's why I think if they were to do voice acting, it would be relegated to just the human characters, because there'd be way less work to do there. And, if every Pokemon and every person is voiced, think of the file sizes,
dude.
Man. They're going to go wild.
Yeah.
They won't even fit on a cartridge anymore.
No, I agree with that. Voicing the Pokemon would be... At 1,000+ Pokemon, yeah, with multiple language issues and stuff like that. But they did it in Snap, dude. That worked. Like,
I know, but you're talking about not 60 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Total.
No, it was more than that, dude. It was at least 80.
Okay, 80 Pokemon. Even new Pokemon Snap.
Yeah. They are voiced.
Yeah, which had
that has way more. That has a few hundred.
Way more. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they localized into every language the game's available in.
Yeah, I don't.
But I think because it's a spin-off, they can get away without the outcry. Because those spin-offs, they sell a couple million as opposed to the 25+ million.
Well, you said the answer earlier in this episode of the Bit Beacon.
What did I say? I forgot.
What are we gonna do? Stop playing Pokemon?
Right.
So what are the French going to do? Stop playing Pokemon if we don't have it in French? We're talking about just the Pokemon's names.
We're talking about the French here. They love to revolt.
Yeah, yeah, but they also love to surrender.
I didn't say that. Rick said that.
I said that. We might have to cut that, dude. You started it. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What, are they going to stop playing Pokemon, dude?
Probably not.
Just because the Pokemon... You know what? Forget everyone. Forget everyone. Voice all the Pokemon in Japanese.
That was what I was going to get to. Yeah. It's like, would the world just accept if it's in Japanese? I think it would.
I think the
world would be okay with that.
If Pokemon has a singular language, it's Japanese.
Yeah.
So...
Just do that.
Just do that.
And you would be 100% like, you know what? I accept this.
I'd be happier than having the Game Boy cries, dude. I'm sorry.
So what is...
They probably save a lot of space because the Game Boy cries can be, like, compressed and...
Oh, yeah,
like,
to the nth.
Like, probably even just, like, formulated, not even a file. Just
1
like...
KB.
Yeah. A number.
Yeah.
A couple numbers.
You can probably just generate it based on the numbers.
Exactly.
It's just playing numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably a huge concern. That's why I think if we... Like, what I would love for that game to exist, where every Pokemon has 100 different versions of how they speak and talk and things. Because it can't just say Psyduck, Psyduck, Psyduck. It's got to do...
well, when they voice Pikachu in Let's Go, like, it has, like, 25, 30 different...
So every Pokemon's got to have that kind of attention for it to not feel, like, not good.
Yeah, that's way too... Like, it's way too much space. It's way too much work. There's no way... I mean, okay, here's the thing though. You only have to do it once, and then it's done forever.
That's true.
So they could fork the money to have like multiple studios working on that.
With the way that we're not getting the whole Pokédex too, it's something they could work on over time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I again though, the file size.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is an issue. Although there is this modern solution for that, and that's streaming files from the internet. You could have the game connects online. It sucks.
Online required
Sucks.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Like, that's the way that games today get away with having, like, the whole Russian dub on the disc.
Mm-hmm.
Is that they're streaming from the disc. Or streaming from the actual hard drive. Or solid state or whatever. Yeah. So you can actually, like, your code just has a path. Your actual game file just has a path instead of, like, a giant audio file.
Speaking of audio files getting really large, the length of this podcast is really getting there.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a cap on that particular point, and we're going to I want to talk about Legends ZA, which is launching tomorrow night at 9 p.m. here in the West Coast. I'm just curious, where are you at with this game? Is this something you're excited for? Did you enjoy the previous Legends game?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah, of course. I loved Arceus. It was really good. I loved the wild environment, like actually being around in the bushes with Pokemon crawling around.
Like in Sword and Shield, the wild area, like the Pokemon didn't feel like they really lived there.
No, you're right.
They felt like they were just dropped
felt
there.
way more spawned in, like their own little prefab, just walking around doing it,
just doing their path,
scripted animation. In Arceus, they felt wild. Like you'd see a Bidoof crawl out of the grass over to like a little patch of flowers and start sniffing it. Like it felt alive. So if you're gonna do real-time Pokemon, you're gonna have to do it like that. It's gonna have to feel alive. It doesn't work just having
For me, Arceus was sort of like a rebirth point for me in Pokemon, because it's not that I didn't like Sword and Shield, but it just, I don't know, it felt a lot of the same.
Yeah.
Whereas Arceus was like, oh my god, this is something new.
Yeah.
This is something very different. Mm-hmm. Like, I haven't felt this strong way about a Pokemon game since like Pokemon XD, Pokemon Gale of Darkness.
Doing the research on Pokemon in Legends Arceus took me back to Hey You Pikachu, which is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
I knew that.
Yeah. Dude.
We've had long conversations about Hey You Pikachu.
All high school, I talked about that game. But yeah, in that game, you're working with Professor Oak to do science with, Pikachu, a wild Pikachu. And in this game, it feels that way. You're observing wild Pokemon, and doing that kind of thing. So,
now, ZA isn't quite that.
Yeah, I understand that. But it is real-time.
It is real-time.
And a lot of what Arceus did right, I hope, translates over.
Yeah.
Now, true real-time battle where you control the Pokemon in real-time is an idea I've had in the past. Right. Now it's being done by somebody.
Well, of course, we were always gonna get there one day. I mean, we dreamed about running around a Pokemon Stadium.
Yes.
And actually like doing that's when I heard of Pokemon Stadium when I was a kid. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was just Pokemon battles, just in 3D graphics.
Gotcha.
So I actually envisioned oh my god,
I'm gonna play as a Pokemon.
Yeah, like an actual
Yeah. So now we're getting that finally.
So it's interesting because you control the character's actual movement. You don't control the Pokemon's movement itself, but you do issue commands to the Pokemon.
Oh, all right. It's not like my idea then.
Yeah, you're not. The player isn't the Pokemon. Now the player has the ability to call the Pokemon over towards it, and by issuing certain commands, you're sending it towards the Pokemon, depending on if the move is like a physical or like a special move.
My game design scheme, thinking about this kind of stuff, had you controlling the player, and then as soon as you throw the Pokeball, you immediately start controlling the Pokemon. Yeah. Like the control transfers over to it.
Right. That's kind of like what Pokken was.
But then your 4 buttons are the 4 moves.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Pokken there was a trainer character, and you were
that.
basically throwing out the Pokemon, but then you fought as the Pokemon.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you ran around as the Pokemon and fought, but
there were actual trainers.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the trainers were like issuing the commands, but your hands are the trainers issuing the commands to the Pokemon.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like the 4 face buttons, that is the 4 moves in ZA.
Got it.
So you do control them, just the battles are in real time. You're not having the time to take and like consider strategy as much, like where you can like sit on a move for 10 minutes if you want, you know?
Right. It's more
On
physical. It's more physical. It's more response time, which is good. Finally.
So do you think that, let's say, this should be the way that Pokemon games are played going forward, or do you think this is just a one-off thing for Legends ZA and maybe other Legends games?
I can't. It's too early to say that yet. Okay. I need to play ZA first.
That's fair.
And then I can tell you, But yeah, I don't know. This could be a great spin-off concept, or it could be like, you know what? I'm okay with you.
Get rid of turn-based.
Yeah.
That's to me. That's kind of sad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It would be the end of an era.
There's less and less like games that were turn-based 20 years ago are now all action games. There's just less and less that have held on to that identity.
Yeah.
And so I kind of
Dragon Quest kind of holding out.
Yeah, they hold firm. Now they have plenty of spin-offs that are action games and stuff, but the traditional Dragon Quest games keep that. Yeah, I respect the heck out of it. But Pokemon is obviously they're toying with some stuff here. Now I can tell you, there was a Pokemon leak earlier this year, and we recently received a new treasure trove of documents, including all kinds of things, such as information about the Generation 10 Pokemon games. We know the titles for those games. I won't talk about it here in the podcast. I know some people like to keep that sort of to themselves and want to discover that on their own, but if you want to go out there and seek it, you can. But something I was reading today in the documents is that Pokemon Generation 10 will allow you to choose between turn-based and action, real-time combat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So if that is true,
right, and even if it was true 2 years ago when those documents were drafted, that doesn't mean it's going to be true when the game comes out. Yeah,
exactly. Just because a piece of paper says that,
right,
does not mean that that's being developed.
Right. So if you're taking what I just said as gospel, and now you're like, oh great, it's definitely confirmed, and then it comes out that it's not, you can't be mad at Game Freak.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. They're literally their notes.
Yeah.
Got leaked. Like, I write all kinds of stuff down that I never do.
Right.
So, they're brainstorming, and their brainstorms got leaked, and that sucks for any developer.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have this vision that you want to reveal in a certain way, and you want to present it.
Isn't it weird, though, that, the games industry is the only industry that is, so secretive and protective?
I get what you're saying. I feel like movies are that way. I feel like cinema's that way. You can't leak the.
There's so much access, though.
But I feel like Disney would really have a firm grip on the next Star Wars details.
Sure, I mean that's totally filmed on a private set, but no, you're right. But I just still feel like they share a lot more than games share generally. During the development, we'll get little behind the scenes featurettes when they're filming Star Wars, Yeah. Here's a sneak peek,
We do get way less making of type content from games. Movies, they'll give you a whole.
Oh yeah, you get a whole documentary on your
whole
Blu-ray
second disc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for video games, it's just all secret.
Right.
They just don't want to talk about it.
Some game franchises do kind of go out of their way. One giant reason I respect the Mortal Kombat franchise, aside from sculpting my childhood, is that they have the whole crypt that's all just production art, production videos, really rudimentary, ugly looking renders of just a spinning model. That kind of, they show that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're proud of it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate Mortal
I feel
Kombat.
like more games are including that kind of thing. And they're almost designing games now that, like, the main feature is sort of this documentary that's, like, baked into the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the games are kind of, like, ancillary, like, almost on, like, sort of like a, this is what we made this year, you know, and you can sort of play through the timeline.
Yeah, like they do sort of, like you're talking about, like those museum compilation type games. Yeah. And then some of these like Port Plus type games have some stuff like that. Like didn't one have like bonus commentary while you play the game?
Yeah, there's stuff like that.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So I forget what game that was.
Last of Us did something like that where you could have commentary while you played through the game.
See, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we should get more of that. I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, because I feel like there's so much, like, Pokemon is such a thing that people are so fascinated by. I think because there is this sort of, you feel like you're discovering something when you're playing a new Pokemon game, or at least I do. To me, like, the joy of, like, feeling like I'm in that world. Like, it immerses me.
Right.
Like, Pokemon games just immerse me. Like,
Right.
I don't really get excited about games like I used to, but a new Pokemon game still makes me feel like a 10-year-old again.
ZA in particular really is, like, attracting me. Like, I'm really ready for some urban type stuff. You know, we had Legends Arceus where you're running around the wild, which is great. They needed a jungle. Like, I felt like they needed a jungle setting.
I mean, they were stuck in Sinnoh.
Yeah.
So, like, they had to deal with the environment
That's true. That's true. Hopefully we get a Johto, which this apparently was supposed to be at one point.
Yeah, the original plan for the second Legends game, as we learned from the leak, they were originally brainstorming a Johto Legends game.
Which would have given us the Elix Forest, potentially, and all that.
And it was set in the past as well.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so I know. There's a lot of potential there. I hope they don't just, like, shelve that for eternity.
Yeah. Johto is my favorite region.
According to the leak yesterday, the next Legend games is Legends Galar.
Yeah. So I saw that. Yep.
We'll be going back to, like, ancient Galar times. So I kind of like the idea of Legends games being set in the past. I know that ZA is immediately upending that expectation that everyone had.
Yeah.
But the game basically set, it looks 5, 6, 7, 8 years into the future from X and Y.
Yeah.
We have characters like Emma who are now, like, full-grown adults, seemingly, who were, like, 10, 11, 12-year-olds in X and Y. Anyways, so, you know, Legend ZA is set entirely in Lumio City. It's totally an urban game. Within the city, you don't have a whole huge region to explore.
Yeah.
But reviews came out today, pretty glowing overall. People were worried about the urban environment. Like, am I really going to be okay just looking at the same buildings over and over again? Turns out they are doing a lot to. It's not just like you're in a city, but a city can have a lot of environments within it.
Sure. Parks and all that.
Parks, sewers, all kinds of things.
Yeah,
so, like, they're going places.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect them to just have you running around the street.
Yeah, but just blacktop the whole time.
Like
that'd be
who
ridiculous.
thought that? Who even thought that?
Well,
You'd be going through factories
Here's
and
the
stuff.
thing. All of Pokemon ZA marketing has been that. It's just been running around the streets.
Yeah.
So people are understandably like, this is all you're showing me.
They want that to be the image you get when you think of the game. But that, you know, you're going to be running through factories. There's probably a power plant. There's probably sewers that, you know.
Yeah.
Like.
No, I'm excited. Like, and that's, for me, I know it sounds counter to what I just said, but I like not knowing. Pokemon used to say way too much.
Yeah.
And now they're saying less before launch. And I kind of actually like that. Like, in the past, like during the 3DS games era, they would tell you every single Mega Evolution that was being added to the game. We've only learned about, like, 4 or 5 of the new Mega Evolutions. And we know from leaks there's, like, more than 20 new Mega Evolutions.
Right. No new Pokemon, apparently. Right?
As far as I'm last aware, and this is from an old leak, that's true. It does appear that Eternal Flower Floette will finally be given to trainers, to players.
Oh. So a new form.
A new form of Floette, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So There is one new Pokemon.
Well, that's not a new Pokemon.
Well, okay, one new thing to slot into home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's better than 0.
Yeah, that is better.
I'll take
than 0.
it.
One last. I know we moved on, and we don't need to move back. I have one thing.
Okay.
Just one thing I gotta add, and that's the freaking scope of like the Pokemon universe and all that stuff that's gotten, in my opinion, out of control. We have Arceus, and we have like just like they're. Where do they go from? Like, I miss the days when the most powerful Pokemon was this science experiment that was funded with millions of dollars and, by Team Rocket.
Illegal money.
Yeah, like, that should be how the Pokemon world is.
I mean, I understand.
I miss that local disaster stuff.
I agree. I mean, I don't think that it's wrong to say have the Pokemon that is the origin of all, basically the god Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think that's fine.
But you're going to catch that. Like, and that's going to be believable.
You're not actually... you played all through Arceus, right?
I haven't played the tail end of it.
Oh, man. Okay, that's like the craziest
stuff,
okay. Dude.
All right.
I don't know if you want me to say a little bit about the lore that's sort of unveiled about Arceus.
Let's not.
Okay.
Let's
well...
not.
Suffice to say, you're not actually catching Arceus. Arceus is lending a piece of itself to you, in a way. Yeah,
I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah, but I agree. I do prefer the smaller stories, and that's what Lumiose looks. That's what ZA looks like. Yeah. It's going to be a very local story,
and I hope it stays local. And like, I hope like the stakes aren't from the universe.
The marketing, I know, because X and Y was the first one to really be well. I guess I don't know. X and Y was like, there's a giant laser cannon, the satellite that's gonna point and blow up the world. You know?
And
like I liked
Sword and Shield was up there too. I think
Generation 3 had like an environmental disaster sort of story where like either the world was going to like erupt,
or it was gonna flood,
and that at least feels grounded to me. Like there are super volcanoes that could blow up, huge chunks of.
But it's still like saving the world, dude.
It is still saving the world,
and that's like the difference between high fantasy and sword and sorcery is that sword and sorcery is like a local. Personal.
I mean, it was local to Hoenn. Nobody else in the world knew that the world was about to be flooded.
That doesn't mean they weren't affected. You're not getting it. Anyways, I wanted to point that out. Just the scope of the lore and its expansion over the franchise is another thing that I wish we could go back on.
I mean, but look what Arceus did for the lore, though. I mean, it like elaborated on so much, and I feel like it fleshed it out in like a positive way. Like I feel I learned so much about Sinnoh.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was good, but
it was also
It's another thing. It's just another trend.
Okay.
That I'm pointing out here. So, I'm not necessarily even saying that the games are bad. But anyways, what do you see for the future of Pokemon?
Well, I'm kind of tainted because I know what the future is.
There's
or I know what the described future is as of a year or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess for me, I would love to see. Okay, this is like a real wish fulfillment thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see, they make 3D Zelda games and they make 2D Zelda games.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see an old school style Pokemon game that it doesn't even have to introduce new Pokemon. I just need a new old school Pokemon game.
Yeah.
I would love a new top down Pokemon game from the future of Pokemon. Connect it to home, make it just as viable as all the other Pokemon games are.
As far as you have that. It's called Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl or whatever.
No, that's a remake. I want to see like a new.
You want to see that, but but that style.
Yeah, I mean, I would love, maybe even less the chibi squished look of Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
But I mean, that's how like the 2D looked.
I get what you're
They
saying.
had their big heads
I would
and
prefer I guess a more pixelated look rather than like model that style into 3D.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I mean, I'm not like, I know you're not the biggest, craziest fan of the whole HD 2D moniker.
I like it. It's just that terminology is so like gamer brained.
Okay, anyways, but that's Square Enix's. That's what they call those projects.
Mm-hmm.
They're HD 2D products.
Yeah,
I would love to see a Pokemon game that looks something like that, with that those chunky sort of 3D pixelated look.
Yeah.
So that's what I would love to see happen in the future of Pokemon. Doesn't appear to be on their roadmap.
No, I wouldn't. I don't expect to see that.
Yeah, which is a bummer to me. But
I share what you're feeling. I share what you're putting down. But that is still the same kind of like nostalgia vibe I got from playing Hey You Pikachu and Shining Pearl.
Yeah.
You know, like those felt like 2D games. You know, to me they felt.
Yeah, I just want new towns. I want new gym leaders. I don't even need new Pokemon. I just need a new story in a new area.
Yeah.
You know, maybe throw in some regional variants or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, and it can just be just going from point A to point B again. Like I like that. Just make it kind of old school.
Yeah, the routes.
Yeah.
You don't have routes anymore.
Like I don't get why we can't have both. Yeah.
Like does Scarlet and Violet even acknowledge routes?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. There's no like paths. It's just all wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a way to still do routes and have an open world.
Yeah, there is.
Zelda has like actual roads and paths and like Breath of the Wild.
Well, even like Final Fantasy 15 and stuff, you'll be in the wild, it'll be open, but then you'll go into like a forest and it's totally linear.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
And I thought Legends Arceus did a good job at giving you these open but smaller zones without it all being this one giant I would have loved to have seen them be more connected and have routes in between these areas rather than just the go to the area, go back to Jubilife, go to the area, go back to Jubilife, go to the area, go back to Jubilife. It would have been fun to sort of have that personal journey from area to area.
Yeah.
Supposed like, oh, you're being flown out there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, in Sun and Moon, you had to like surf to the different islands. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Compared to just flying there. You know, I don't know.
So, I guess, you know, we're both still optimistic.
Yeah.
For Pokemon.
Yeah.
We both love Pokemon. We just want the best for it. But that's the thing. Everybody wants their version.
Yeah.
Of what's
everybody.
best
Yeah, exactly. I feel like just, you know, the whole modern audience thing is really ringing true with Pokemon. And the modern audience is not who grew up with it.
No.
You know.
But, I mean, they're still taking on new fans. And it's their responsibility to do that. Like their fiduciary responsibility to not let Pokemon go just peter out with the people who first played it.
I think you're right. I think you're right about splitting the franchise up into two like separate main lines where one caters to like the OG fans.
I think those games could be made cheaply too.
Yeah, they could
by much smaller teams.
Yeah, they could be. Nintendo could do a lot of things, you know.
Yeah.
So we have one last topic to discuss. And how would you like to do that?
So, I mean, it's no secret. It's episode 100.
Yep.
We talked about on episode 1 how we wanted to use that third zero. We're episode 001, not episode 1.
Yeah.
So now we have used that very first zero, and now we're episode 100.
Yes. We have achieved that goal.
We've been at this for just over 2 years. The last episode was on our second anniversary of the starting of the podcast. And
largely it's been your effort that got us there. I dropped out somewhere in the 40s, but you have been carrying this thing yourself.
I felt like I would. I made a commitment to myself to get to 100.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this project came out of a passion, wanting to do something, wanting to spend time with you more than anything.
Sure.
And I appreciate that you stuck with it as long as you did.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact it's not easy to do this week in and week out.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like that much. Oh, you just sit down for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's so much more than that.
When you're the person who has to travel, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But also, like, this isn't our first BitBeacon venture either. We started a website back in 2011.
And who's to say it'll be our last?
Yeah.
So what happens to the BitBeacon broadcast? The truth is, I don't really know if there's a future for the BitBeacon broadcast. I am stopping my weekly commitment to producing episodes of the show.
A good point to do that, I think, episode 100.
Yeah, I fulfilled the promise to myself. I fulfilled the commitment to the listeners to get to 100, to use that 0, turn it into a 1. And I'm really proud of the legacy of this show. I look forward to revisiting it in the future. And I'm not saying there won't be an episode 101. I honestly think there will be. Is it going to come anytime soon? I don't know. Something has to make me want to jump onto the podcast.
Sure.
Not out of commitment, but out of excitement to share something with everyone. I might just do event reports. Or I might just, do a traditional episode, keep it up with the smaller format, but just at my leisure rather than feeling like, oh man, I have to do this. So I just want to thank everyone. I know I thanked everyone last episode in 99, but really thank you for joining me on this journey, joining Rick and I on this journey. It's hasn't always been a pleasure.
No.
It's felt like a duty at times.
Yeah, it gets to be a chore after a few episodes.
But ultimately, I can say I'm really proud of it. And, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And transmission.